Hey, Peabody, thank you. Keep tapping and sharing, everybody, please. If you guys can send in your heart me, that would be terrific. And we are looking for opposition. Yes, keep tapping and sharing. Oh, Snitch, I gotta message you back, actually. Sorry. I'll message you back right now. Okay, all right, guys, keep tapping and sharing, please. You just disagree with their lifestyle. What is it? What do you mean you disagree with their lifestyle? I don't like. What do you mean by that specifically? But how do you know that they need help? What gives that indication that they need help? All right, let me bring up this guest. Give me just one quick second. I got to fix the volume here. All right, so the guest who's in the box, I'm about to bring up here. Here we go. How you doing?
Hi, how are you? Hi.
I'm great. How old are you? I seem to know your age, please.
Sure, I'm 46.
Okay, what's going on?
Sure. So, the thing about homosexuality is that it's objectively evil.
Objectively?
Objectively evil.
Why?
Correct.
Why objectively?
Well, it's objectively evil because it could be exhaustively described using third-person language as evil.
All right, so how
And
so?
sure. So, in this particular instance, using general systems theory, an identity is that which interrelates a structure to its function. Now, the reproductive system has an identity as a reproductive system because reproduction is the relationship between its structure and its function. And because reproductive systems are identical to isomorphic in relation to their opposite, they're identical to being heterosexual. But evil by definition is hypocrisy and corruption and contradiction. And what this means is that a sexual orientation that is in direct contradiction with the structural identity of the reproductive system is a logical contradiction in terms, which by definition is a moral corruption, which makes it objectively evil.
Okay. All right. Can you simplify that for all of us that aren't as smart as you?
Sure.
Okay.
So there are four laws of morality,
Okay.
and they correspond with the four laws of logic.
Okay.
The first law of morality is the law of authenticity. In order for A to be A must remain as a value of authenticity, meaning in order for A to be A, you have to value authenticity. And now in order for the law of non-contradiction to be itself, you have to value integrity. In order for the law of the excluded middle to be itself, you have to value non-hypocrisy. And in order for the law of sufficient reason to be itself, you have to value requisite justice, which means that there are moral values which are ontologically embedded in the four laws of logic. Now, if you violate any of these four laws of morality, you yourself are actually unjust. Unjust is semantically identical to evil, and this is the relationship between it. And because homosexuality violates authenticity, because if you are by definition a hominid, and hominid by definition has a reproductive system, which is isomorphic to its heterogenic opposite, then there is no instance of homosexuality that is not inauthentic to the actual structure of the organism, which makes all homosexuality inauthentic in identity. It's an inauthentic identity. It violates the law of authenticity.
What's up, Snatch? You want to respond to him?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go
Wouldn't
for
it
it.
be more so there is actually biology behind um, being a part of LGBTQIA in the sense that your brain structure and the things that even to like the extent of like voice pitch and everything else are different genetically.
Yeah, but
So
this is a
by the
Kumho-Kruger process
understanding
fallacy.
of by your own definition that being authentic is moral, wouldn't it be more authentic to align yourself with your genetics?
That's a contradiction in terms because it's a Kumho-Kruger
No, it's not.
fallacy. Well, allow me to
No,
explain it.
it's not.
Allow me to explain it.
You're saying that it's more moral to be authentic.
Allow me to explain it.
And so if
To
you're
be
not
to be
authentic,
Sure. Allow me to
your
explain
own
the contradiction.
self.
Your worldview contradicts itself. Allow me to point it out.
It really doesn't.
In order to be an individual human being, you have to be a human being. That means the individual identity of a human being must be compatible with the actual collective identity of what it means to be human. And because humans normatively have reproductive systems and are heterosexual normatively as a structure and objective function, that means homosexuality is accidental to the identity. Which means in order to be an authentic individual, your authenticity has to be non-hypocritical with your universality. And this builds in a hypocrisy intrinsic to the relation of the identity to its humanity, falsifying your statement on pain of moral contradiction, proving it to be objectively evil.
So you're just not going to listen to anything that I just said.
I'm going to finish sentences. That's how it works.
No, you're not listening to a single.
Well, you're just upset that you're losing.
No, I just don't care to respond to people who talk over others.
Well, you're just upset. That's just a distract. That's just a smokescreen for the fact that you're fucking losing.
No, because not everyone is heterosexually normatively.
So that's a contradiction in terms.
For that. No, it's not. Because there's individuals called intersex who exist, who have a little bit of both. And
that's
so
the fallacy. That's the fallacy of accident. That's the fallacy of accident. The fallacy of accident when you take the exception of the rule and you protract it into a rule. So that falsifies that argument.
It's not the fallacy of accident. It's approximately 1% of the population.
That's the fallacy of accident when you take the exception to the rule. When you take the outlying conditions and you try to universalize them into an ideal, that's the definition of the fallacy of accident. That's the fallacy of accident par excellence. There's no greater example than taking the outlying case and then trying to extend it into a normative function than that.
You're the one who's trying to describe a binary.
Do you know how to think? God damn.
You're the one who's trying to ascribe a binary to something that is not binary. That is not my fault. That is your failure to actually explain all possible situations.
If it is not binary, then if it is not binary, then the analog to what you just described violates the principle of the excluded middle, which states that everything either is P or is not P. And because your statement admits to being not binary, that violates the law of non-hypocrisy, falsifying your argument. Because in order for it to be non-binary, it needs to be pro-hypocrisy. You just fucking lost. Thanks for demonstrating that. Thanks for demonstrating that LGBT is identical with moral hypocrisy.
Hey, buddy. Our numbers are binary.
Hey, miss, you're fucking lost.
Final. I don't think you proved that. Final.
Here's what you demonstrated. You demonstrated.
Okay. Final. I think if you made a really good argument, there would be people in the chat that could actually that could actually repeat what you said. Let's get a single person in the chat that's ops that can actually restate your argument in simplified terms. I don't think a single person is going to be able to do that.
Doug. Yes. I wanted to mention that in the same way that the grayscale is not a binary, even though there are colors like black and white, and in the same way that even the color black is not binary. You have red tinted black, you have brown tinted black, you have various different colors, as well as terms.
Red tinted black is not black. Red tinted black is asymmetrically black. That's just a contradiction in terms.
There's multiple different shades of black.
Now, number two, if you're saying that we have a choice between black and white, which presumably means evil and good,
I'm at the gym, so I can't really yell.
Then you have no justification for choosing a mixture of black. If you have access to pure good, you have no justification in choosing a hypocritical mixture of some good and some evil.
Okay, it's really hard to have a conversation, man. Just let her speak.
Yeah,
it's again the law of non-hypocrisy, falsifying your position.
No, because I just don't choose to scream over you like a moron.
You're getting raw dogged. You're getting raw dogged, chick.
Doug,
get the fuck out of here. You lost.
Can you mute him?
Boring as shit.
Please mute him.
All right, good.
Thank you. So in the same way that the grayscale is non-binary, in the same way that numbers are non-binary, the actual association with specific sex organs and X chromosomes, Y chromosomes, all of that is also non-binary. There's individuals who are XY with female sex organs. There's people who are XY with male sex organs. So the actual understanding of biological sex as a binary is severely oversimplifying how things are in biology. You have androgen insensitivity syndrome, which is basically the understanding that you might have organs, but you may not have the actual hormones and the sensitivity to those hormones.
Oh, I get it.
And so it's really important to understand that if you're stupid and you don't actually understand how things work, then yeah, maybe things fit in a binary in your very naive mind. But that doesn't make things a binary in real life. Because you see, we live in something called nature. And nature is not so simple. Yeah.
Hey guys, we can
Okay,
get to a new guest at 10,000
can I-
likes. All right, we are looking for opposition.
hey, can I go? Can I speak? Okay. So when the debater's lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser.
Well, actually,
So-
somebody disliked you so much they paid to kick you. David, thank you for the 20 on the blue app with the V. It says, "Who's the final boss now, bitch?" Thank you, David. David in the comments. There's going to be at least one person in the comments that says that that guest won, and if you say that, I would love for you to come on up and repeat his argument. I would love for you to just simplify it to anybody who's going to say that. Henry, how you doing?
Not really good, but listen
Hey.
to you guys. Just afraid of the truth, you know?
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Why
How
you
old
kick
are
him
you?
out?
I just need to know
I'm
how old you
58.
are. Okay, great.
58.
Because when people pay a
Why
certain
you kick
amount,
him
it
out?
kicks, I guess. Because
Why
it
do you
was a
kick
pay to
him
kick.
out?
Well, I'm trying to answer the
Why do
question.
you kick him out?
Is
Why
it
you
okay if
kick
I
him
answer?
out? Yeah,
Can I answer?
sure.
Okay, he got paid to kick. I got paid to kick,
Oh,
rather. That's how this works.
oh well.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's
Okay.
weird that happened. Can I
Okay.
ask you a question? What is good about being gay?
It's not a matter of being good or not. I think it's an
No,
amoral
no.
thing.
What is good?
It's not good or
No,
bad.
good.
It just is. It's not good or bad. It just is.
Yeah, but do you promote? Because in society we promote good, right?
I promote people being who they are, sure, as long as it doesn't bother anybody else and
Good.
there's no.
We
Yeah.
don't promote. We don't promote evil, or we don't promote bad
Okay.
things, right?
Okay, so why is it evil?
No. I ask you a question. What is good about being gay?
Again, I think it's amoral. I don't think it's good nor bad. It just is.
So you will. Okay, so it's nonsense, right? It just happened, like weed.
Sir,
You pull weed from a.
do
Shut
you
up.
have like preference?
Can you?
And
I'm talking to
Don't
him,
tell her to
please.
shut up. Don't tell her to shut up, please.
I'm talking to you, dude.
Okay,
I'm
but you
trying
don't
to
have to
help
tell
you
her to shut up.
Why she's
understand.
interrupting?
No, because I'm trying to help you understand. So,
In
are you
society, we
attracted?
promote good things, and
No,
we
sir.
discard
I'm
things
trying to
that are
help you
not
keep
understand
good.
saying
his
that.
point. I'm trying to help you understand his point. So, Sir Henry, are you attracted to a specific kind? Like, are you straight?
I'm talking to him, dude. I don't know what
All
you're
right, but
talking.
just let her speak. But she's up here, right? So just let her please speak. Okay. Did you hear her question? Thank you, Karina.
No.
Did you hear her question?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so Henry, what are you attracted to?
The good things that are good and positive.
No, I'm talking about like looks wise. Like, what attracts you in a? I'm assuming you're straight in a woman.
What attracts me in a woman?
Well, are you straight?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so what attracts you in a
attracts
woman?
me? Well, there's many things, Depends.
Well, do you like
feminine
brown
for what.
hair? Do you like blonde hair? Do you like brown
No,
eyes?
it depends. It depends. As a couple, as many things. What is
Okay, what
exactly what do you
physically
want me to?
attracts you?
Like sexually?
Yes.
Sure.
What physically attract me? Well, it's a bunch of things, but well, maybe her butt.
You
If you
literally
ask me,
can't. Do you like blonde hair or brown hair?
I said her butt. Like,
Good
dude,
lord.
you ask a precise question.
What color hair are you into? I'm into their butt.
Directly there. Like, what attracts me? That I don't care if you're blonde or you have curly hair. Well, that's a question.
Keep tapping and sharing, everybody.
Well, she asked. I didn't want to talk about it,
Yeah,
but she
so
asked.
if I showed you a random photo of somebody's butt and that person happened to be a guy, you would be attracted to that if it looked feminine enough? Yeah, that's my question. So blonde hair or brown
I
hair?
haven't seen
It's very
butts
easy.
of men that are nice as a woman.
Some do. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, sure, but not me. She's asking me, my personal thing. What else do you want so important to ask me about the butt of a woman or something like that?
Well, you're the one who brought
Doug,
that up.
I think you can continue this convo.
No. Wait. Don't put that on me. I was not talking about that. I was not talking
You
about being
brought up
attractive.
butt. Nobody else brought
No,
up
but
a
she
butt
said,
but
but
you.
she said, what does attract a woman to you?
Well, she said hair color, and you said butt.
No. Hair color.
Thanks,
I
Matt.
don't know. It doesn't attract me, dude. The hair color of a woman doesn't attract me.
Okay, I think what she likely was getting at to what I initially said is that these things aren't moral, right? So, like, having blonde hair or not is not moral or not, right? Or having brunette hair is not moral or not, just is, right? And so that's how I view somebody being gay. It's not a good thing
Okay,
or a bad thing. It's just who they are.
let's see. Do you think that life is good or not?
What do you mean by good?
Like humans being around the planet is good.
In terms of what? I mean, that's such a vague.
In general, you say, would you want humans to be extinct? It would be a bad thing or not?
For who? For who would that be a bad thing?
For you. I'm talking to you.
For the environment, it probably would be a good thing.
For you.
For humanity, it would probably be a bad thing.
For you, not humanity, not the whole planet.
Well, for me, I wouldn't be alive. I wouldn't be alive to have feelings associated with it. So it wouldn't be a good or bad thing. There wouldn't be me to exist to speak of.
So you think that humans being around and alive is not a good thing?
Yeah, I'd probably put that in the classification of that being amoral as well. I'd have to think into it more, but off the top of my head, I would say it's amoral.
So you don't think that humans are good?
In the sense that you're asking, no. I think humans being around is just amoral as well. I think we're just another species. We're just another species of animals.
So you care about an eagle, right? A bald eagle. What about a bald eagle? Do you think that if we just unalive all the bald eagles, that would be good or bad, or it doesn't matter?
But now you're talking about unaliving a whole species. That's a different thing.
No. I'm talking about that. We'll just push him.
If we were to unalive, if somebody were to unalive an entire species, yes, that would be a bad thing. But that's a different thing than what you're asking.
It's not important.
That's not what you asked. You didn't ask if a human was going to unalive all other humans.
Okay, if we push humans to a point that disappear, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, I think
less than 50%. Less than 50% of people
wait a
who
second.
are
Respond the question,
fertile
please.
Are homosexuals. So what are you talking about?
That's what you're about to get at. If everybody was gay, we wouldn't be able to reproduce, right? Is that what you're going to say?
But not everybody is.
Yeah, so it's like an irrelevant talking point.
So do you care about humans
so like, do you
or
think
not?
that
Do you care about humans or not?
So do you think that people who are infertile are evil?
Useless?
So you think I'm useless?
Yeah, for society, yes. I don't know if you're infertile, but I'm assuming that you said that you're infertile.
Yikes.
Well, that's not good, man.
I'm assuming that you are infertile because you said that.
So there's many women who have PCOS and endometriosis who end up getting treatments so that way they don't have the same symptoms that are debilitating.
That's positive. My first
wife was like that. Who can't go to work, who is bedridden once a month, you don't think that they should get a hysterectomy because it would render them infertile?
My first wife had that, and we cured her, and she become fertile.
You can't cure endometriosis.
You can cure it. Don't tell me about that.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. You go inside with a laser and you burn it, and endometriosis. Wait a second. I'm going to give you a class.
No, so approximately 50% of women who have endometriosis.
Just because no.
So approximately 50% of people who have endometriosis, even if they get.
Dude, it's
so 50% of people with endometriosis.
You got to let her speak. Let her speak, and then you can go. Okay.
Approximately 50% and upwards of 50%, depending on the population and the grade of endometriosis, who do have endometriosis. Just because they have the actual lesion removed does not mean the endometrial lesion comes back. In fact, even with a hysterectomy, individuals with grade 3 and 4 endometriosis are likely to have endometriosis recur.
Do you say endometrially?
Oh my good lord. Endometriosis. Stage 3 and stage 4.
Now, can you listen? Can you listen, please? Please.
Guys, new guest at 30,000 likes. 30,000 likes, new guest.
No, wait a second. Because now you just want to talk over. You just want to talk to try to prove a point. That doesn't make it right.
Just listen to what she's saying, and then you can go, because I think you're just not understanding what she's saying. There's a
So there's various
miscommunication.
grades of endometriosis. Grade 1 and grade 2, sure, maybe removing a lesion does help with preventing recurrence. However, it is plausible that the endometriosis can recur. And if it does recur and it progresses to grade 3 and grade 4, even a hysterectomy may not be able to adequately treat endometriosis because it is specifically uterine tissue, well, specifically the blood forming tissue, growing outside of the uterus. So it could grow in your shoulder, and just because you get it lasered away doesn't mean the cells aren't still there to continue the endometriosis. This is the reason why, even with a hysterectomy, around 20 to 40% of people with endometriosis will still see a recurrence, because stage 1 and stage 2, sure, maybe you're possible to get a long time of no more endometrial lesions, but stage 3 and stage 4 is still likely to come back.
So what's
Okay,
your
you can
point?
respond.
So what's your point? Endometriosis is bad? Yes. Now, if
Oh
a
my
woman
good
cannot
lord.
have
The
children,
point
what is it?
is
What
that
is the point?
with endometriosis, the woman might not be able to continue her life normally without getting hysterectomy, which renders her infertile. Now, additionally, women are not just for producing children, unlike what you view in
They
other
are.
misogynistic men.
They are. Just to put you, if you adopt
So
children, you
wait,
will find your value.
wait a
You will find
second.
value. You're gonna find value in adopting children and growing
Yeah,
a
no,
good family.
I really don't, because I plan to actually find cures to chronic diseases in my future. But that being said, so there's a woman
I don't care
who
about
was
that
the
personally, for
first
real.
to
That's
discover
weird.
DNA. Without our understanding of DNA, we would not have the genetic and the specific capabilities to do research on things like cancer. So do you think that women are useless because
You're not a victim,
they
dude.
provided us?
Just knock it off. You're not a victim. You're the same
No,
as me.
I'm not.
Period.
I'm not saying. No, I'm
Yes,
She
you are
saying
never
the
said she
same
was,
as
I'm.
me.
Henry. She never said she
You're not a
was. Guys,
victim.
30,000
I
likes for
never
you guys,
said I
guys. She never said she
was.
was. I don't know where you're getting that from, man.
I said
She's bringing diseases, and she has
no.
these,
I'm
and she
not.
wants me to feel sorry about her. I'm not
No,
sorry, dude.
no,
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
saying
I'm
that.
sorry,
I
but
never
not
said
sorry.
that.
Say something
No,
about being gay,
no,
dude.
no. I said that my only purpose in life is not to pop out children because I plan to find cures to diseases. That is my plan as somebody who loves research and science, unlike you. Now, on top of that, there are women out there like Rosalind Franklin who have found the structure to DNA, which allowed us to further pursue the field of genetics. There's individuals, I believe her name's Carolyn, who discovered the structure to chromosomes, allowing us to understand epigenetics better. There's women who literally invented Wi-Fi. So you're saying that women have no other purpose aside from popping out children, and yet we're the ones who develops the technology that allow you to be on your phone talking to me right now.
Shut up with that thing. Come on.
Okay.
We're not
Well, we
competing
hit.
with men against women. It's not
Well, I
men
hit.
against women, dude. You're
Well, I hate
just
to break it to
pretending
you.
to
We
be a
hit 30.
victim. You're not
Okay,
a
but we hit
victim.
30,000 likes. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. Why? Imagine being that upset over somebody who says they want to help cure diseases. Shouldn't he think that's a good thing based on what he said? Guys, keep
Yeah.
tapping and sharing. We are looking for ops, okay? People who disagree with the context of the background, come on up. So if you voted for Trump or anything like that, hit the request button. God, that guy was awful. If you're watching on a tube, if you can subscribe to me and like the live. If you're watching on
Hello,
TikTok, follow me and like the live as well. Hey, Zyro, how you doing?
what's up? So I just wanted to answer the question that you have on your
Okay.
live.
I just need
want
to
to
know
say
your
that,
age. Yeah, I just need to
yeah,
know your age real
I'm over
quickly.
18. I'm
Okay.
19.
All right. Cool. What's up?
So I don't hate like gay people and the LGBT community and stuff like that, but I think that they need help
What sort of
because
help?
like being gay and doing all that shit, and it's not good. You know,
Why not?
it's like there's a lot of studies showing actually that they suffer from like a lot of depression and mental illnesses and stuff like that, and I think that they need help.
Okay. So are you saying this research
Yeah.
says that being gay causes them to be depressed and anxious?
Well, like there's a lot of studies showing that.
Okay. Can you name one
You
study?
can just,
Yeah, name one study so we can
you
pull
can
it up.
just you can Google it.
But I want you to name it since you made the claim.
Well, I don't remember. I remember reading a study, but I don't know what the name of it was. But
Well, that's
you can Google
convenient.
it. You can check.
Well, that's convenient. But the reason I'm asking this is because how do we know that these studies said that being gay causes these things and not that there's a correlation? and that's almost certainly what it said.
Well,
That there's a correlation, and
there's
sure,
a lot
there
of
very well could
research
be.
showing that.
But what's the difference between correlation and causation?
Well, like, how am I going to explain this? You know, when you read the study, you know,
Hmm?
at the end of the study, they like the ones who made the study, they like do like a discussion, and then they explain if it's a correlation or a like if it's caused because of being gay, you know.
So
And
what?
then
So what is
some listen, some say that it's a correlation, and some say it's caused because of like having like I don't know, suffering from depression or stuff like that, and yeah, but like
just in
like
general,
liking
hold on, in general, what's the
yeah,
difference
okay.
between correlation and causation? Not even related to this topic, just in general, what's the difference?
If it's like, causation is like if it's caused of like being gay, and correlation if it's like correlated, like if you're gay,
You
for
just
example,
you can't use the words in the.
I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we both know what the difference is.
Well, I don't know. The reason I'm asking is I'm not sure you do.
Okay, then can you explain it for me then?
Oh, okay, sure. So if there's a correlation, it simply just means there's a link between two things. It just means two different things occur at the same time, right? So like ice cream sales and summertime, for example, right? We tend to see more ice cream sales in the summertime, but is there a causation or is there just a correlation between the two? Do they just occur at the same time or does one lead to the other, right? And then cause, obviously, does this variable directly lead to another variable?
Yeah.
Right. So in relation to this topic, are you saying that being gay causes them to be depressed and anxious, or do these studies show that there's just a higher chance of being those things if you're either one?
Well, it's kind of both actually.
Okay,
Because
so show me how being gay causes somebody to be depressed in of itself.
well, if you for let's say like there's a person who likes boys or whatever, it's like it's not natural to do that. If you look at nature, most of the things don't do that. Like, you know, it's not.
What does something? Why
not
does something being? Well, hold on. I would argue it is natural because they were born that way. If they weren't born that way, then it wouldn't be natural. But why does
What do you
something
mean?
be
You're
natural?
You're either born as a boy or a girl.
But why does
Like,
something be natural? Why does something be natural or not determine if it's good or not?
because that's how life is. Like
No.
a guy
Are
falls in
these
love with a
glasses?
girl, and
Are
then
these are these glasses natural? Are they naturally occurring?
they are made by a man.
Right. They're artificial. Right. They're man-made,
Yeah.
but they're good. They help me with my eyesight.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
by your logic, these would be bad.
No, a guy
your
has
logic.
it serves a purpose. These serve a purpose. A man is born. He serves a purpose. He has to like get. He has to marry a girl, get kids, and that's how it is. A gay person.
Why do you have to do that?
He's just following his desires. He's
Great.
just.
So we're straight
yeah.
people. So we're straight people. Straight people are
Yeah,
following their
what do you mean?
desires as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but they also serve a purpose. Why do you think? Why do you think you have a desire to like?
Okay.
For example, like
So somebody
trying to,
who can't get pregnant, are you saying
just a
that's bad or
quick
wrong?
question. Why do you think a man is attracted
I don't think you have to have kids. I think that is just one of many aspects of life. I don't think you have to have kids. I don't think
No,
there's a
you don't
moral
have to have
obligation.
kids, but
I don't think there's a moral obligation to have kids. I don't think anybody should be forced to have kids. I don't think there's like a necessity for it. If you want to, great. If you don't want to, great.
yeah.
I
Well,
think
I don't know.
it's one's own choice to have kids. By your logic, somebody who can't have kids who's straight or doesn't want to have kids who's straight is also just as immoral.
Do you think that the only reason we exist on this earth is to reproduce?
That's
Zyro?
Zyro.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was doing something else. What did you say?
Do you think the only reason we exist on this earth is to reproduce?
Well, yeah,
Mm.
and yeah,
Hmm.
that's how evolution works. Why do you think like creatures who don't reproduce they die? But like if you think about it from a religion perspective, it's to like
Which religion?
I don't know, all religions, they all like pray. They think that the purpose of like that humans exist is to like pray and do good stuff and do good deeds and all that. But if you think about it from a scientific perspective, the only thing that matters if you can reproduce or not, because otherwise you will just die. And yeah, that's what I think. So you can think about it from multiple angles, you know.
But what's
You
our
said
moral
you,
what is our moral obligation to continue to reproduce?
Well, you don't have to, but
Right.
you can live like a normal life without reproducing. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it's not normal though. If you're gay and you don't like if you don't, how am I supposed to explain this?
what is normal?
Sorry, like my English is not my first language. You know, I'm
You're
from
okay. Yeah,
Sweden
you're fine.
actually. So
You're okay. What do you mean by normal, though?
like
And guys, new guest at 60,000 likes, 60. Okay. Yeah. So what do you mean by normal?
you're not supposed to like fall in love in. If you're a boy, you're not
Just
supposed to
this.
fall in love with boys. It's not normal.
So
That's
what
what I mean.
happens? So what happens if you do?
Well, I think you need medical help. I think that you need help. I
You
don't.
need
I don't listen. I just want to say
But
that I
what's the
don't hate
harm?
gay people. I think that
But so,
they just need help.
but you're telling them that they need medical help, though. So I mean, it doesn't sound like you
Yeah.
have a favorable view towards them. But why do they need medical help? What harm are they causing by having those desires and being with not a consensual adult?
Well, they might be, for example, you know, social media. They can brainwash a lot of kids, so they can make them think that they are born in the wrong body or whatever. So I
How
think
do you
that they might.
how do you make
They
how
might.
do you make somebody gay?
Well, you brainwash them. You show them a lot of fake stuff on social media, and
Like what?
you can
What would be
influence them.
tell me? Okay, so give me an
For,
example of how you can
for
brainwash somebody to be
example,
gay.
I've seen, for example, a lot of cartoons now, like in the modern cartoons right now. They show a lot of like stuff like it's normal to be gay. It's they're like pushing it too far. You know what I mean?
So if you
Are you
saw
gay
that when
now?
you so
No,
if
I'm
you
not
saw
gay.
that
What?
if you
What?
saw that when you were a kid, could that have made you
I
gay?
did not see that. I did not see that.
I don't
I'm
know,
telling
but
you that I've seen a
could
lot
it
of kids
have?
seeing that.
Could it have made you gay if you saw that when you were a kid?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
It could have it could have influenced me, but not made me entirely gay because I don't know, but it could have influenced me. But if the like let's say if you put something in an environment where it's like where it's surrounded by a lot of gay people, it will be normalized, you know? So I think that people are normalizing it too much.
Okay, but explain how that
That
would
is
make somebody gay, though. How would seeing something on television make somebody gay? Because on the flip side,
well
there was only straight like couples and straight presenting things, like heterosexual presenting things, for the longest time, and gay people still existed. So how did that happen?
yeah, but right now they are increasing more.
Well, how do you know that they're
So
increasing and not that it's just becoming more normalized and more accepted? How do you know it's not that?
It's just logical because if you imagine
No,
like if
not
as I
not
said
really.
before, if
Not
you
really,
put
because
something
people. But no, that's not
okay,
true at
keep
all.
going. I don't want to interrupt you. Yeah.
It's
Keep
not
going.
true at all. And I know this example is given a lot, but when we talk about people who are left-handed, it was ostracized. Those people were ostracized if they were left-handed. It was considered to be a very bad thing. It was considered to be like almost immoral to be left-handed. And then after we realized that's a stupid fucking idea to have, more people, quote unquote, came out as being left-handed. They were always left-handed. It's just that it wasn't socially acceptable to be so. So how do you know that's not the case with this?
All right. Let's say that you take a straight person and you put him with a group of gay people. What do you think would happen after a period of time?
they might be friends. I mean,
Yeah, okay, yeah, they might be friends, but I think that in the future he will also become gay.
so I want to
And
explore
then when
something
that
with you here,
happens, and then
Zyro.
when that happens, yeah, okay, keep going.
You're straight now, I assume, right?
Yeah. And let me assume, are you gay?
No, I'm straight too.
Okay.
If you were surrounded by gay people, by members of the LGBTQIA community, would you then become part of that community? I mean, and if that's true, then maybe you need to do a little bit of self-reflection, because I have quite a few friends who are in that community, and I talk to people who are in that community quite a bit. I don't suddenly think that, that men are attractive to me in that way. So I mean, if you're straight, you're straight. If you're not, you're not. Either is okay. But if you can be influenced, that's not necessarily It might not be 100%, straight, my man.
You guys, we're at
Well,
60,000 likes. New guest. If you're joining live,
I
click the
will
red
not.
follow button
I will not.
and make
I
sure
will
you
not
subscribe.
become gay too. But you adapt. You have to adapt. You know.
You have to
So
adapt to
that's
be gay.
you adapt with the social. If you're like placed somewhere wherever you adapt to the environment.
What does that mean?
So
So I can adapt to being gay? That sounds kind of fun.
If you won't do that, you will be left out.
I'll be left out if I don't.
Yeah, you will be left out because you don't have listen, you will feel like you're not. Listen, why do you think a lot of gay people feel like they're alone and all depressed and all that? Because they look around and they see everyone is straight, and they're like the only ones who are like they're seen as weird in society. And the same can be said if you're straight and you're placed in a group where everyone is gay. This is what I mean. You know what I mean?
I want to talk about that because this kind of ties back into what you were talking about before with the mental illness. You said you're from Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say in the world stage that everyone just freaking hates Swedish people.
All
And I'm
right.
not saying that's true. I don't think that is true. But let's say they do. Like just instinctual, just hate them. Everything in the media says that, you should hate Swedish people. Yada 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 yada. You can't control where you were from. Neither can people who are part of the LGBTQIA plus community control that they were born that way. Would you not feel ostracized from society if everyone said that they hate Swedish people? Would you not feel depressed and
what do you mean? If
anxious?
everyone hates Swedish people, what do you mean? If I would feel depressed and like anxious, and what do you mean?
Because my point is, man, that there are tons of people on the internet, you included, and a bunch of things in the media saying that LGBTQIA plus people aren't natural, they aren't normal, they shouldn't be a part of society.
No, I didn't say they shouldn't be. I said that they need help.
I mean,
and that is kind of the same thing, my man. But my point is that if you were subjected to the same treatment that the people in that community are being subjected to, would you not feel ostracized and depressed and anxious?
If they hate me because they think that I'm not stating that it's not my opinion. There's like facts backing this up. Like
facts backing what up?
Yeah, that being gay is bad. It's just
what
not good.
What facts back that up? Throw away your opinion. What facts back that up? Guys, we're at 60,000 likes now, guys. Give us a fact.
As I said before, a lot of people who are gay, they have like a lot of problems with their hormones and whatever, and they're
prove that. Their hormones. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
I don't know. They do like a lot of fucked up shit, bro. They're like they have like a lot of.
Be specific. Be specific. What hormones do gay people have a problem with?
Like I don't look. Listen, I'm not a fucking scientist or whatever.
Well, then don't make that claim. Then give me a claim that you can back up.
A claim that I can back up. Okay. Like, listen, if you go on the internet right now, okay? Listen, I know this doesn't sound a lot of trustworthy or whatever, but if you go on the internet and then if you search whatever study about being gay and I don't know, attracted to the same gender or whatever, I bet you that you will find a study showing that being gay or whatever or attracted to the same gender is bad and has a lot of it has a lot of it does a lot of.
Goodbye.
Lord.
That was just a horrible argument because he couldn't even explain it. That's how bad it was. Guys, keep tapping and sharing. If you're enjoying the live, click the red follow button in the top left on TikTok. If you're watching on the tube, we actually got a good amount of people watching there. What's up, everyone? Make sure you subscribe to me on the tube. And if you guys can like the live as well on the tube, I would really appreciate that. And we are looking for opposition, okay? So if you voted for Trump, if you disagree with the context of the background, please do come on up, okay? Hello, George.
Hello. I did not mean to request. I cannot lie. I'm sorry.
I'll bring you down. I appreciate you not lying. We love honesty here. Honesty is good. All right, guys. Remember, if you're a friendly, please do drop in a request box, okay? Meaning we're only looking for debaters.
Did you call your mother today, Douglas?
I called my mother, I called my stepmother, and I called my sister.
Very cool. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And so the guy
Hey,
is asking,
Jessica.
like, is that correlation or causation?
Hi, Jessica. Jessica, I think it's correlation. Hope that helps. Okay.
Bye, Jessica.
Keep tapping and sharing, everybody. There's a lag on the tube. I don't know. We got a lot of people watching there, so it can't be that much of a lag. If there's a lag, if there's a true lag, people generally don't watch. But if there's a lag for more people, please let me know. All right, we're gonna have to start inviting people on up, okay? Because we don't have anybody else in the request box. It looks like, what? No, we do. But still, you might want to invite people. NBA, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, I seem to know your age, please. How old are you?
I'm 21.
All right, sir. What's up?
So the prompt, why do you hate the LGBTQIA plus community? I don't hate. So it's like, I'm trying to think of some way I could put this, but I don't hate the community as a whole, but the way it's like I hung out with a gay person, and there was a gay person in a group that I was hanging out with. He was really chill, really cool. So I don't hate him, but the community can make other gay people look bad by forcing it on other people, or like trying to force stuff like in schools, and just like if let's say
Do you have an example?
one NBA team was known for being super aggressive, but there was another player on that team, didn't play much, not as known as the other players. He would be put in that category of, oh, he's on that team, so he must be aggressive. But
okay, do you have an example of it being pushed on people?
I mean, books and like elementary school libraries, that's a known thing. There's
Like
lots
what?
of books pushing. I know there's some stuff on the news a little while back, not like too far back. Obviously, like I can't quote the book, but that doesn't mean I'm any less wrong. But those types of, and no bad books in general should be in the library, but
what was
having
in the
drag
book?
queens in classrooms, I've seen that.
Well, hold on though. We'll get to that in a second. But what was in this book that was forcing gay stuff or LGBT plus stuff on kids?
Just pushing the LGBTQ stuff. Drag queens, that's a big one.
No. But what was in the book? But you keep repeating it. Like you said, it's being pushed on kids. What in this book was?
You know
pushing
exactly
it on
what
kids?
I mean. I mean,
if I knew what you meant, I wouldn't be asking this question.
Like sexual stuff.
Like what though? Be specific.
Do you not know what sexual stuff? Do you not know what sex is?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Blowjobs are. Do you not know what drag queens are?
So NBA, you're telling me that's being taught to kindergartners, BJs?
No, not taught. It's in their libraries. I'm not saying like a teacher is pulling it out.
Prove it.
It was on the news.
So prove it then.
How can I can't go to the library
by telling me the name of the book. By telling me the name of the book, because every single person in my chat, if there was a book that had BJ's in it and it was being read to kindergartners, every single person in my chat would be against that. Okay,
it was in the library. Like they could go to the library and check it out. It's not being taught in the classroom, but it's in the elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, libraries.
Okay, but what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to have you prove that you're not just a victim of propaganda and you didn't just read this from a Facebook post. I want you to actually prove what you think you saw.
So if LeBron James scores over 30 points, and I'm like, hey, I think he scored 30 points. I saw it in a TikTok video. Prove it. Like get the link. Get the link.
Great. How would you prove it then? How would you prove it?
That doesn't make me any less wrong.
That's a perfect example. You would prove it.
It doesn't make me any
by showing me
I saw it on the news.
By showing me the stats of the game, that's how you would prove it. So to prove
it
this,
doesn't make me any less wrong.
So
it doesn't make me any less wrong.
So prove it.
Because I saw it. But I saw it. It was on the news.
That's not how this works. Okay, right? In that game where LeBron James supposedly got 30 plus points, will you be able to prove it by just looking at the replays of the game, by looking at the stats of the game? So if you're making a claim about some book, about things being said in a book, just show me the name of the book so we can look at what's in the book. That's how this works. It's not that difficult. So just tell us the name of the book. It shouldn't be that difficult to know how to prove something. You saying you saw it isn't proof of it. Okay. So I can just say that, like, I saw a news channel that said those books don't occur in libraries. So how would
It
we
doesn't
be able
make
to
me
do?
any less wrong.
So then prove it.
You might be fucking retarded. I don't know.
Okay, so you can't prove it. So you just said that to get kicked.
No.
Yes. Guys, it's not that difficult to prove something, and if you can't prove it, just say you can't prove it. That's okay. Not really, because you're saying stuff without any proof, but at least I would respect you a little bit more if you said you couldn't prove it. Hey guys, keep tapping and sharing, please. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday, great weekend in general. Make sure you give me a follow if you're enjoying live follow work as well. My pay links are in the bio if you want to show support. While it's not needed, I do appreciate it. But what are your question or comment out loud in the chat if you send it along with the pay link. And then on the tube, same deal. If you guys can subscribe and like the thing. All right, this guy's not loading. All right.
Sorry, excuse me. I sent you a source on Discord, Doug, in the live sources.
Okay, I appreciate it. Eric, I see. I'll bring you up in a bit if you want to hang tight. I think everybody else in our request box is a friendly. Well, maybe not. Let's bring this one up. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Ooh, you are young. Don't talk to adults, please, on the internet. Or really, just in general, don't talk to adults.
Why do these children feel the need to talk to adults on the internet?
And more importantly, why do they think that we're just going to believe them that they're, like, not 4 years old? Like, do they really think we're just going to go like, you're young, but we'll let it go? All right, Green, you're still loading. All right. Hello, guest. How are you?
Hello.
All right. We have two different people here. Green, are you here? Yeah.
Yo.
All right. I need both of you to tell me your age, please, before we move forward.
30.
Okay. All right. So, you have some background noise? Is there a way that you can lower it, minimize it?
Yeah, I just did. Sorry about that.
All right. So, what's going on? What's on your mind?
So, just I think things have changed a lot. We definitely fought a lot back in the day when I was in like high school. Being pro Newsom, pushing for legalizing anybody being able to get married and all that. Grew up in the Bay Area, so got a lot of friends that are of the L community, of the G community originally.
Okay, so what are you trying to get at?
But it feels like a whole flip of the switch happened.
Like what?
Somehow, I feel like that community got infiltrated.
How so?
I mean, Pride events used to be amazing back in the day, just going out there, showing love, everybody having a good time, eating food, having a parade, just having a straight up party.
Just get to your point. Get to your point. What's the problem? Just get to it.
Now you go out there and you see, people completely expose genitals in front of children, which is insane.
Okay. What does that have to do with the LGBT plus community as a whole? If that does happen, slow down. What does that have to? If that were to happen, what does that have to do with the LGBT plus community as a whole?
I just think that the LGBTQ community should do a better job calling that out. If you don't stand for that stuff,
calling what? Out. Okay, so when there's a child P3DO, do all straight people need to call that person out?
When there's a what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If there's a child P3DO, like a child predator or whatever, when they get arrested, should all straight people call that person out?
Absolutely.
All straight
Absolutely.
people. So all straight people are responsible for that one person doing that. That's what you're telling me.
No, I mean it should be called out by everybody. Everybody who's against it.
But because they're straight.
What do you mean because they're straight? What does that have
What
to
you're
do with it?
insinuating is because some gay person does something that's inappropriate, that all gay people need to call that person out.
No, I'm saying that it's been infiltrated, as you can see in the parades. If you've gone to any of them, you can tell the difference from back in like 2008 to what it is today.
Okay, but that's something you're going to have to measure. You can't just tell us it's different. You can't just say, "Well, my experience is different."
No, I'm saying you can see the difference from
Okay,
what it's transformed to.
okay,
You know what I mean?
but the problem with anecdotes is this: that if somebody else I speak to says, "Well, we don't see a difference in parades over the last 20 years," how do we determine who's correct?
Well, you can just measure it by looking back at, the activity, even talking to individuals from the same community, that have been a part of those parades from back in the early 2000s, late 90s to what it is today. They agree that children should not be seeing people exposing their genitalia in public. That's not right. Or even like that last
I
gentleman
just
mentioned about
feel like
the
you didn't
books
answer
in the
my
schools.
question. I just feel like you didn't answer my question.
Okay, can you tell me the
I just
question
want
again?
to. I just want to. Like you're just saying because it's your experience that this happens more than it did 20 years ago. How do you prove that? Thanks,
There's
Hector.
videos out there on YouTube. You mean it's out there for everybody to see.
Okay, and you're telling me this never happened 20 years ago, even if this were to be the case now?
No, I'm pretty sure it did, but behind closed
Okay,
doors.
okay,
It
but
probably
then
behind closed doors, not as open as it was today.
okay, but
Um,
the problem with this is it's giving the impression that gay people have a higher propensity of being P3DOs. You're giving that
oh no,
insinuation.
not at all. That's
Okay, but
that's that's
I know,
anybody.
but
But
then what's the point of talking about this then if we know that anybody can do bad stuff,
because we
whether you're
see
gay,
what's
straight,
happening,
black, white, whatever, anybody can do bad, inappropriate things. What does this have to do with the entire community?
I'm just saying it should be called out within that community, just like it's being called out by the general
Yeah,
population.
nobody in the LGBT plus community is pro P3DOs.
So then, why is it not being called out?
How do you
Why do
want
you
it to be
not
called
see?
out? Who do you want it to be called out by? Is there a leader that you want them to call it out, or who's calling it out? How many
There should
people need to
just
call it out?
be the community itself should call it out.
What do you
When they
mean by the
see
community
like
itself?
when
The
you go
community
out
is
to
just
these
full of
events,
people. So
when you go out
who's
to these
calling it out?
events,
Who?
when you go out to these events, it should be called out. It should be like, hey, there's children here. Please don't expose yourself, individuals. Just go have a good time.
How
That's
do
it.
you know it's not being called out?
Because we've been there, been to those events, and it hasn't been called out. It actually we've been
And
forced to leave because it doesn't get called out.
so you're telling me
It's
you
not.
just
It's
stood
not the
there and
same as
didn't
it
say
used to be
anything.
before. I'm telling you.
So you're telling me you just stood there and watched a kid be
It
exposed to
no.
a body part and you
It
didn't
used
say
to be.
anything?
It used to be a family oriented event,
Why
and
didn't you
unfortunately
call it
now
out?
it's not. And
Why
unfortunately
didn't
now
you
it's
call it out? Why didn't you call it out?
because you try to, and then you get surrounded by individuals that don't agree with you.
So you just let some kid be exposed to something by an adult. So
No, we take them away, and then we keep them from going to those events now.
so
Unfortunately,
you
which
took
is
the
sad
kid
because
away.
it used to be
So when
family
this happened,
oriented.
you took the kid away.
Had to. You
You
had
did?
to move them. Yeah, no,
Who
not me
who?
physically, but I saw parents taking their children away from the
So
situation.
you just
Yes.
let it happen then? So you also just let it happen
How? If you're
by the
calling it
words
out, if you're if you're warning
by the
individuals
words that you're
walking in that
telling us.
direction, if you're warning individuals walking in the division in that direction, telling them, "Hey, don't walk over there because there's people exposing themselves," that's the best way to call it out at that time and moment. But if there's individuals that are out there coordinating these events and putting that ahead of time out there, you know what I mean? It's just in today's world, it's changed a lot. We never had things called maps back then.
Oh boy, here it
We've
is.
never
Here it is. Here
we've
it
never
is.
had none of
Remember,
that stuff.
Green.
The
Remember,
books.
remember, like 3 minutes ago when I asked you, are you insinuating that people in this LGBT plus community are P3DOs, and you said no, and now you just mentioned maps? You can't have those two statements and coexist with each other. They're conflicting statements.
So what are
So,
maps?
well, you're the one who brought it up. I want you to explain somehow how this is being allowed in the community, how this is a thing.
it's being pushed into children. They're
Great. Give an
going
example.
into
Great. Prove
children.
it.
Have
Great.
you ever?
Prove it. Great.
Okay.
Prove it.
Okay, I will. Just like that individual that was on here last one, he said that there was books in elementary schools. You want to name one of the books?
I want you to prove that maps is being allowed within the LGBT plus
All
community and being
Boys
normalized.
Aren't Blue. If you could read a couple excerpts of that book that had been pulled off the shelves of elementary school libraries, that'd be great.
Okay, and what's in that book?
Oh, it teaches individuals how to perform sexual activities, and that was in elementary school libraries.
What's the name of that book?
All Boys Aren't Blue.
Have you read that book?
Hey, she asked you a question.
He has to go look it up because he hasn't read it.
Yeah, I've heard this brought up on the live a couple times in the past. But yeah, dude, you have to come on back for a sec. There you go. Okay.
Have you read that book? I can't see your username. Green, have you read that book?
He got very conveniently quiet. Green. This is incredibly convenient that you got quiet the moment that we brought up something specific. Really?
Oh, he's running.
Jeez.
Yeah, so just for the audience, that book in no way, shape, or form even alludes to anything sexual in any way, shape, or form.
All right, Green. Well, it sounds like you're trying to run, so goodbye. Thank you, Amber.
And the book that most people bring up when they're talking about a book that's portraying anything, sexual is called Genderqueer. And it has, as all books do, it has an age rating on it, which is YA. And YA means young adult, 16 and up. So no, we don't have that in elementary school libraries.
Nikki, hello. How are you? Nikki, are you there? Nikki, going once. Nikki, going twice. Okay. How you doing, Amber? You having a good day?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, boy. All right, guys. I don't think we have any other ops in the box. It looks like they're all friendlies. Mods, if you guys can help bring up an opposition, that'd be great. Like, invite them up from the chat. Or if you are just an opposition, you can just request yourself. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can call in. But make sure you guys subscribe and like or follow, whatever. If you can, I'd appreciate it. All right. Nikki, did you mean to come up? You're welcome to come back. I don't know if you meant to come up or not, but Ruka, you having a good day also?
Yeah, just going back and forth between TikTok and studying.
There you go. What a combination. Wait, Amber, are you are you a mother? If you are, happy Mother's Day.
Yes, I have 4 kids.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's weird. I still don't think of my sister as being a mother, even though she's been a mother for like 8 years. So I almost forgot to call her earlier. I'm like, oh yeah, she's a mother. I still think of us as kids and not having kids. All right, let me bring Snitch up real quickly.
Doug, 2 of my kids are adults now, and I still sometimes forget that I'm a mother, so don't feel bad.
That makes me feel a little bit better. What's up, Snitch?
Heyo, I got back from the gym. Sorry about that.
You're good, no worries. You're all good. How's the workout?
It was really good. I got a little bit hypo towards the end, so my legs are all tingly, which is not fun, but that's okay.
Yeah. I hear ya.
I have really crappy blood sugar control because PCOS and all that other fun stuff, so.
Does that affect you like every workout, or is it just sort of dependent?
No, it really depends on what I do. Like sometimes I just have like a really small breakfast, or I feel hungrier one day or another, and usually that causes me to feel more hypo than usual. And usually it's not too bad, but it can get pretty bad where I'm like feeling dizzy and like my fingers and legs feel really tingly, which is never fun. So
Yeah, that does not sound fun. All right, guys, we are looking for opposition, by the way. So anybody else that's requesting, if you're an op, that'd be great. Robbie, hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Are
I
you
just
sure
need to know.
you're ready for this answer? Because
Yeah,
I'm pretty plain.
I just need to know your age real quickly. How old are you?
I'm 36.
All right, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I'm just gonna answer the prompt, and the reason is because it's degrading the value of the American value. I'm gonna say in my mind,
Johnstone.
y'all. I don't know if you are particularly the Alphabet Gang, but it needs to be suppressed like it was back in the old days and shamed upon.
Okay, great.
Because
Okay, wait, hold on. We'll get to that. You said it's degrading the American value. What's the American value?
the value of being an American, you come here and you don't have to deal with certain things like, you know,
like hate, like hatred towards you for being gay, like those things that we shouldn't have to deal with.
I'm not queer at all.
Well, I don't think you heard what I said. Like, we shouldn't deal with things like people being hated towards because they're gay or trans. Like, those are things we probably shouldn't have
I
to deal with,
think
right?
that if that's what you want to do, then you should go somewhere where it's accepted. Like for what is that one country called? Bangkok or something
Okay,
like that.
so we shouldn't accept it here. Why not?
Because I just don't like dealing with it. I don't feel like
Well,
it
that's a
should
you
be pushed
problem,
off
though.
on kids the way it
That's a
is.
you problem. Why shouldn't we, as a
Yeah.
society, accept it?
What do you mean? Because it's immoral. It goes against the good book, my boy.
Okay. Why
You
is it
believe in
immoral?
you believe in Christianity?
No. But why is it immoral? We can still use that argument. That's fine. But why is it immoral?
Okay.
How does it go?
Because it says in the good book, right? A man shouldn't lay with another man.
Mm-hmm.
And just good old common sense says that you have a mental illness if you dress
you know what
like
it
a
also
woman.
says?
What?
In Deuteronomy 22, I believe. Let me pull up the specific verse, just that way we can be very hyper specific here.
Hey guys, in the meantime, keep tapping and sharing, okay? If you're enjoying the live, click the red follow button on TikTok, top left, and subscribe on YouTube.
Deuteronomy 22, 28 through 29. If a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married, and he seizes her and they are discovered, he shall pay her father 50 shekels of silver. He must marry the young woman, for he violated her. So do you think that it is moral that a rapist marries the victim?
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
Hey guys, make sure you send in the heart me on TikTok. It's there in the top left if you can. That kind of helps us stay in the algorithm, or that FYP, whatever.
All right, my bad. My mother, I had to give her a happy Mother's Day real quick. So what was the question again?
I said, so you think it's immoral because of the Bible. So you must think that it is moral that a rapist marries the victim, because according to Deuteronomy 22, 28 through 29, if a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and seizes her and they are discovered, he shall pay her father 50 shekels of silver, for he must marry the young woman, for he has violated her. He can never divorce her for as long as he lives. So you think it's moral that a rapist marries the victim,
You know what?
according
I
to the
think
Bible?
back in that
You must be
time when
real
that was
proud.
written, right? Back in the time when that was written, and you're going to say, well, your other argument was written back a long time ago, too. Back in the time when that was written, if you weren't guarding your child like a piece of a gold bar, that was your own fault. I would never let my daughter, even in this time and age, be in a predicament where she could get raped because of the society that we have. So that was on that father. That was his lack of being responsible. You put your child in a situation where they can get raped. That's on you.
So it's not the rapist's fault, but it's the dad's fault.
Yeah. Also, for approximately 53%,
We're gonna go with. I'm gonna go with if you allow your child to be put in that kind of a situation, that's your fault.
Wait.
Fucking crazy.
So
Wait. What?
Yeah, so according to a 37-year nationwide study, approximately 53% of sexually abused girls are abused by their biological fathers. So should the biological father now marry the daughter because of that.
Okay, that statistic you got is totally made up. You just
It's
pulled
It's
that out
100%
of
not.
true.
thin air.
100% true.
Pulled that out of thin air, right?
No,
Nope.
I didn't.
Oy.
I pulled
And
out from a study.
I can't help that people out there are sick fathers or whatever their problem is. That I ain't got no
Yeah,
control
but
over
according
that.
to your own
So
morals, according to your own moral standing, it is moral that the biological father marries the daughter, right? According to your own Bible.
are you? Did you like bump your head before you got on this show?
I think you did.
Did I say
I think
anything
you
about
did. You
that?
didn't
Did I
even read
say
your own
anything
book.
about incest is okay? Did I say anything about grape is okay?
Yeah, because you use the Bible to justify it, so I'm using the Bible to justify
How did I
what
justify
I
it?
believe
What
to
did
be
I say?
immoral.
What did I say? That I support rapists and that they should be given a gold star?
Because you said according
No,
to the
they should be
Bible.
shot. You
Because you
want to
said
know?
according
That's
to the
how I
Bible it's
feel.
immoral. So then it must be also moral based off of this other thing in the Bible.
Right. What?
Unless, of course, you're not
Right. But
consistent.
you don't want to live with my punishment system either, though, right? Because I feel like rapists should all just be put down like dogs.
No, it's okay. You're inconsistent and you're
I'm not
badly.
inconsistent, you
Yeah, you
know.
That's
are.
not what
If
your
I
book
have a
says.
dog,
That's not
right,
what your
she's a
good
dumb
book
dog. If
says.
she ever bites me, I will put her down in the backyard and let the rats eat her. The same thing goes for a
Jesus.
rapist.
That's not what your book says. So
Yeah, it's not what your
you're
book says.
cherry picking at this point.
Right. The book says a man shouldn't sleep with a man. And then you said
And it
that if a
also says that
man
the rapist
rapes
should
my
marry the daughter.
excuse my language.
And it
You
also
said
says
that if a
the
man
rapist
rapes
should
my
marry the
daughter that
victim.
he should give me 50 shells, right? Well, if a
Yeah, it
man
also
gives me
says the rapist should
right,
marry
if
the
he gives me
victim.
50 shells, I'm going to put those 50 shells in his
Shekels.
face.
Shekels.
Shekels, shells. Well, there we go.
Well,
If
yeah,
he
it
gives
also
me 50
says that
shekels,
the
right? I'm going to
rapist
turn
should
it into
marry the
50
victim.
shells and
But
then
of course, you don't care
that's the
because
end of
you're
it.
inconsistent with your beliefs
It's not
because you don't actually
inconsistent
ascribe
nothing.
to anything real.
It's not
So
inconsistent anything.
you're going to go against what God instructs you to do in the book and just do your own thing when it comes to the passage that
What
Scientific is talking about.
what
But
do you
you're
mean
only going to
about
follow
men
what it says in the book when it
should
comes to
just
the
let
stuff you
us
don't like. That's the definition of cherry picking. So why should we listen to you about what it says about homosexuality when that's the only part of the book you follow?
right. So you aren't if you are a letter gang person,
No, I'm not.
that means you don't believe in the book anyway. So don't
That's not
pick
true at
scripture
all.
from places. And that's
That's not true at
100%
all.
true. Literally says in there, y'all aren't welcome.
That
You can say that you believe in it, you can
Doesn't
read
it
it, and you
say,
can quote
"Thou
it, but it
shalt love
doesn't
your
mean that you
neighbor"?
believe in it because if
I
you
don't see much
did,
love towards
you
me.
wouldn't do it. You said much love towards what?
I don't see much love towards other individuals on this panel.
I,
You've been
I,
rather insulting.
yeah,
Asking
I
if I
hope
got
you
dropped on
are.
my
I
head as a
hope you
child for
are. I
asking a
hope that you
perfectly
move somewhere
viable
where it's
question
accepted,
based on the
where
fact that
people
you
want you
use the
guys.
Bible
Like I
to
said, go to
justify what you
Taiwan or
say.
wherever that country is,
It's
Bangkok.
accepted here, Robbie.
It's accepted by people who have been brainwashed into thinking that it's
No, it's
okay.
accepted here.
Now,
Yes.
that's super
Yes.
interesting you
Somebody
say that,
told you that it
Robbie.
was okay, and you
You're
got forcibly
Robbie,
believed into making
Robbie,
believe that it was okay.
Robbie,
It's like a
Robbie, you
Disney
have
movie.
Robbie, speaking of Disney movies too, good Lord, you're hitting right on all the points. You have a Hydra tattoo, right?
Oh yeah.
The Nazis in the Marvel series.
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah,
That's
it is a
exactly
Hydra.
what it is, right? I got a Hydra tattoo, I got a Foot Clan tattoo, I got an umbrella tattoo. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm a bad motherfucker in real life. Come see me. Let one of them
That
grippers come near
doesn't.
one of my daughters. We'll see
So
how
you know
how
what? You know what? That actually brings up a really good point. I think that people like you, people who are misogynistic, people who are racist, should not be in this country.
oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a
So why
see
don't
y'all
you
think
leave?
that Hydra tattoo means I'm a Nazi. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate everybody. I
Then
don't
why did you get a
discriminate.
tattoo that represents the? Why did you like? Why did he get a tattoo that literally represents them?
I hate everybody. Now let me tell you about my good book.
Yeah, literally. I hate everybody. Also, like I hate everybody, but let me refer back to the book that says to love thou neighbor. Uh-huh. Sure.
You know, I gotta say, when he was talking about how it would be the father's own fault if something like that happened to their daughter because they're not, watching him or whatever, I would have to assume that his whatever daughters he does have are really young. But let me tell you, and I have 4 of these little crotch goblins. Once your children become teenagers and they get driver's licenses and jobs, is he going to follow them around and stand next to them at their job? Is he going to go to school with them and sit next to them in class and 24 hours a day, their entire lives? Because
But
if not, then I guess he's not going to be too happy when he gets blamed for something happening.
by the way, librarian, I'm not sure if this is like a common thing to like refer to children as. However, do you watch Sarby's like Reddit book reading stuff?
No.
Oh man, he also. I guess it's just like a common thing, but there's a guy on YouTube who like reads Reddit stories, and I'm always listening to them when I study, and he refers to children like that too.
Yeah, it came from, for me, I don't know where the people in the group came up with it, but I was in a mom group when my kids were little, and we were all like exhausted moms of young kids, and that's what we called them. It was a joke, of course.
He's re-requesting. I'll see what he has to say. I don't typically bring back people who dropped, but nah, he's gone. Never mind. Hey guys, again, if you're in opposition, hit the request button, okay? And I'm not muted anymore on YouTube. Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. My bad. All right. Yeah, we don't have anybody else in a request box. So again, mods, if you can help and try to invite anybody that looks like an opposition, that would be helpful. Please, thanks.
My daughter went to her senior prom yesterday.
Ooh, how did that go?
She looked so amazing. I have videos on my page of her if you want to see her.
Damn,
That's
I never
great.
had a prom.
Did she have a good time? She had a good time?
She did have a great time. Her boyfriend couldn't go because he's out of town for work, and he's 19 and she's 18. But he was out of town for work, so he couldn't go, and she was bummed about that. But she had a good time with her friends. And one of her friends took some really cool pictures of her inside the venue under this blue light, and they came out so cool. Yeah.
Man, I wish I didn't have my prom during like C19 era because we never got a chance to actually have a prom.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's not good.
That is really sad. Yeah.
Somebody on YouTube said proms are a gateway to clubs, partying, and being drunk.
My daughter was home at 10 p.m.
I'm gonna say this right now. I live in probably the most college city, I live in the most college city area. Like, there's so many bars that's actually unreal at night. And yet I am still extremely studious, and I am not clubbing all the time. So
Sure, Snitch. Sure.
I actually can't because it hurts my kidneys. Like, I genuinely can't drink alcohol because it hurts. So
That's convenient, I guess. All right, I'm getting a call on YouTube, but remember, guys, it's going to be really difficult for them to hear you, so it may have to be like a one-on-one. One second here. Hello? Hey, are you there? Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I just need to know your age, please, just to make sure you're above 18.
Oh, okay. I am, 54.
All right, sounds good. And what's on your mind?
Well, I came across this and it caught my attention, and that last guy, Robbie, really just sent me over the edge. I'm trying to figure out, like, there's been a lot of questions and a lot of, things, and I'm certainly not going to, I can't prove anything. I can only share my experience.
Okay. I am just looking for, I am just looking for people that like disagree, meaning like anybody who happened to vote for Trump or has an issue with the LGBT plus community. Do you fall into that category?
Okay, well, okay, so maybe if I don't qualify, then you can disconnect, but I'll just say that his first term I voted for him, I'm gay. Second term I voted for him, and now I'm not really happy with what he's doing, but I I notice in my community, my friends, I am the minority that voted for him and believed in him, and everyone else thought I was absolutely nuts. And lost a lot of friends and stuff. But I don't think MAGA people hate gay people, in my experience.
Yeah, so when I'm saying this, it's not necessarily coming from somebody as like how they personally feel, right? Because I'm sure there are plenty of people who voted for Trump that, like, on a personal level, they may not hate certain people within the LGBT plus community, but it's on a systemic level that their vote leads to, right? So despite your personal feelings, you voting for Trump, Republicans in general, I would say is harmful to the LGBT plus community.
I agree now.
Did you not, and I don't mean this to be mean or rude or anything like that, but did you not see that prior to voting for him?
No, I guess I didn't. I guess, I'm 54 and never was into politics. I just kind of picked it up and it was like, oh, here's someone who's not a politician, whatever. Maybe it'll be a fresh whatever. And I just thought, I felt like I was thrown. I didn't have really good background on what I was doing with politics. I never wanted to deal with it because to me everyone lies, so you really can't believe anything in promise, and you really never can. So why bother? But
all right.
At my age now, I'm like, well, I do want to make a difference, and I really thought that my choices were good. And everyone said, well, you didn't see it in the first term? And I'm like, no. And he didn't come after me. I didn't lose any rights. So what's the problem? Now, I don't like that he's taken out the, transgender things of the military and all that other stuff. I think that's a little much.
Okay, so we can't go back and...
understand.
That's fair. So we can't go back in time. What do you think you can do now to, like, better the situation, since you can't go back and not vote for him?
Sounds like you're really blurry.
What can you do now to make things better? Right, you can't go back in time and not vote for him, right? So what can you do now?
Right.
What do you think you can do now to help make things better?
The only thing I can do is vote Democrat at this point.
As a counter, I would agree. Yes, I think that's. I think that would be good. So, do you plan on voting in the midterms, or are you just gonna?
I'm gonna vote Democrat completely across the board.
Okay. What, if you don't mind saying, what state? If you don't mind saying, what state are you in?
I'm in a blue state. I'm in Connecticut. I am a blue state.
Okay. Well, I think that's great that you are willing to at least kind of change your mind in relation to who you're voting for. I still think a lot of harm was already done. But again, you can't go back in time. All right. Well, I don't really have much else to say if you're not like a true opposition then. But I do applaud you for at least changing your mind in face of evidence.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say too, just to throw in before we go, I feel that when gay pride was happening, years ago when I was in like my teenage years, and I was all proud and I had to put stickers all over my car. I felt like I had that right to do it, and I did, but I didn't also understand the attention I would attract to myself, and I did have a few issues with violence against me and a few other people, but now, no, I don't want it. I don't want to flash it around. I mean, if someone wants to put their flag outside their house, that's fine, but just know that people don't like you, and as they're driving by, they know that house is gay friendly. I don't want to do that anymore.
Well, but that's a personal thing, though.
When I was younger,
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, if you don't hold on. If you on a personal level don't want to like necessarily put yourself out there for the fear of you getting harmed, I understand that, but I think I think people absolutely should be allowed to. There shouldn't be an issue with people, saying that they're LGBT plus or whatever.
Gay pride used to be, and then someone else was mentioning gay pride of the map thing or whatever. I don't know much about that, but gay pride was fun, and now it's not. So times change, generations change, everything's different. So there it is.
All right. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the conversation. Let me see if I can get to the next one. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys. I guess pride parades aren't fun anymore.
What's really funny is I was quite literally in a very similar boat in regards to like fearing for getting harmed for like what I said. I think I sent you a DM about it too, where I was like, I was scared to speak up because I know people who, I guess for context, I'm half Filipino. And so because I look very Hispanic, it was very scary for me to speak up about ICE for a really long time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I literally like DM'd you about it. I'm like, I really want to make a video on this, but I'm so freaking scared.
Yeah.
So I think at some point you just kind of have to pull the trigger and say like, I'm gonna stick with my guns, and what happens happens. But I guess everyone's different in that sense.
I mean, I understand the fear on a personal level. I mean, I do understand that for sure, especially if you're like in a heavy red area and you not wanting to draw attention yourself for fear of getting harmed. That makes sense. All right, guys, we are looking for opposition, like I said, please. Okay, so if you voted for Trump, hit the request button.
Also, I am in a red area, so that was part of the reason why I was so scared. But
yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. She just said they weren't fun. She wasn't really a true opposition much at this point, so I didn't feel like diving into that. But I don't know what a pride parade has to do with being fun or not.
Yeah, it was really scary towards the beginning of the year. Somebody was just commenting about like being Filipino American and experiencing similar kinds of like discrimination. There was somebody who did end up getting taken away by the interesting officers very close near to where I lived. So it was really, really scary at the time, but I'm glad I spoke up in the end.
Yeah, no, that is really good. Especially because you have a pretty big following, right? So like, I don't know if it's my place to say that you have a moral obligation or not, but you have a pretty big following where you couldn't make a difference by talking about some of these things for sure. Obviously, it's your platform; you can do what you want, but just because of the following, you can make some sort of difference, I believe.
Yeah, at the end, I'm happy that I spoke up. So
Yeah,
that's all.
no. I think that's. I'd imagine you got some negative feedback, though, obviously, or negative comments, but that's social media. Hey guys, again, if you are opposition, hit the request button at the bottom of the screen on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, you can call on them. I got a lot of negative feedback on my post about 12-step meetings. Not here on TikTok, I didn't, but on Facebook, I got a lot of negative feedback. Mostly from people that I went to meetings with.
I surprisingly did not get that much negative feedback on that video. I guess I just had a really good, calm take with it.
Yeah.
But I could totally see, like, I was scared of, like, having people call those around me. So I ended up just, like, retracting a lot of my personal information from the internet at that time. Sense. And I think that helped.
Yeah. I think I'm getting another phone call here. Let's see here. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
My name is Jordan.
What is it? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Jordan.
How you doing, Jordan? I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
24.
All right. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I think you guys might have it twisted. I think the idea that MAGA or people that are conservative or like people that vote for Trump or whatever, the idea that they hate LGBTQ and that it's not the other way around, I think that's where you got it twisted, because I think a lot of people out here are just trying to protect their kids.
From what?
You know how the government in certain situations can take children away from their parents if they identify as a different gender than their sex.
Who's taking them away?
Right.
No, where's that happening?
This is well documented.
Where?
Yeah, because this is.
Who's taking them away?
I mean, I'm calling you on my phone, but I could get the receipts. It's really not that hard to look up.
I just never heard this. Well, hold up. But who's?
I mean, this is really mainstream knowledge. If you're not educated on this, it's fine, but just get educated on it.
But you're the one who can't give us an example. But you're the one who can't give us an example. Hey, no. Then so it sounds like you're not educated on this. It sounds like you're not educated on this. You should get educated.
Yeah, I am educated on it.
So give us an example. Give us an example.
Okay. You have to be patient with me.
I will be. I will be.
Get the receipt for you.
I want you to give an example of the government taking them away.
CPS.
Hey guys, in the meantime, if you're joining live, click the red follow button on the top left on TikTok. Make sure you guys keep liking the live as well, okay? We can get to new guests at 125,000 likes. Make sure you guys send an heart me. If you're watching on the tube, if you guys can subscribe and like the live too. Thanks, Bruce. We can't get to a next guest, guys. We're talking to one right now.
So all right. So here we go. So the situation is that what has been happening, a big part of Trump's platform is that in Illinois and from Illinois to California, where children who may reject sex, they were assigned at birth and perceive themselves as different gender, the children were removed from their homes without parental consent and placed in a child welfare system.
Where did this happen?
I mean, you could Google this. Like this is.
But you still don't give me a specific case. You're still not giving me. I just want a specific case of this. And even if that works true, I don't think that's helping your argument, though.
There's plenty of cases.
So who in the government is taking them? I just want to know who in the government is taking them and where are these kids going?
Well, they're just going to it's CPS.
Okay, so you're saying CPS is taking them?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're taking them because they're transgender?
Well, they're taking the children because the parents don't agree with what they would call gender affirming care, right? So,
can you just name? I just want to be able to have one case so that we can look it up. That way, it'll be easier for us to talk about if you can give a specific case.
Why does he keep on saying like right as if
I don't know.
like you're saying he's like saying something extremely insane and then saying right.
A decent one.
What's that? Say that again. Say that again. 3, 2.
So there's
okay.
There's one in Tennessee. There's a couple different ones, but the main thing is that what has been continually part of the platform of the left has been that children deserve, right? They say protect trans kids, right? And this idea that children under the age of 18 should be given this gender affirming care.
Okay, so do you have a case that you can mention?
Right. So the idea that MAGA wants to hurt trans kids is the idea that they don't want children under the age of 18 getting
okay. Do you have an example?
Procedure stuff.
Do you have an example? I just want a specific example.
So like when so like when Joe Biden was running in the last election.
He wasn't running in the last election. He wasn't running in the last election. He wasn't running in the last election.
I mean, the last election that Joe Biden was running in.
Okay, so we're going back 6 years now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When he made his speech, you could look this up. He said that children as young as 7 years old should be allowed to be transitioned.
Where did he say that? Can you give a specific example?
You can look it up.
I want you to quote him. We cannot just take your word for things. You have to give us a specific quote. I'm sorry. We can't just let these things slide.
I just don't want you to skip me while I'm.
I'm not going to kick you. I am not going to kick you. I just want a specific quote of Biden saying that you can get surgeries or hormones at the age of 7. I don't think he said that. In fact, he almost never spoke about trans people. So
he did. He actually.
So just give us the quote. Just give us the quote, man. And if this was a quote he said, believe me, I would have been hearing this a lot more often from Trump supporters.
No.
Yes. Yes, I would.
When that happened, this is around the same time as the Hunter Biden situation.
Can you give us a
and
quote?
When he said that, I was amazed. I couldn't believe that he would say.
Do you have a quote?
Like that.
Do you have a quote?
Yeah, this is a direct quote.
I want to hear what he says. 7 years old.
So you're actually surprised by this, huh?
Do you have the quote, yes or no?
Yeah, October 2020, televised town hall. Joe Biden responded to a mother who mentioned her 8-year-old daughter as a transgender.
So what's the quote?
He said, all right, let me see. He said that, that kids can know that they're a trans as young as 7 years old. So,
where's that quote? Because I have it. I have the whole thing up here. Hold on. I have the whole quote here of what he said. He didn't say that. I have the quote right in front of me.
Okay, and then it's just the same thing as this all goes together.
Okay.
With the idea
I'll just read the quote.
Bigoted,
I'll just read
not
the.
Have your kids around.
I'll just read the quote. 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 It says the idea that an 8-year-old child or a 10-year-old child decides, and then there's ... I decided I want to be transgender. That's what I think I'd be like. It would make my life a lot easier. There should be zero discrimination. And it specifically said, because this is talking about, we said that Biden did not comment on transitioning during that town hall at all. He was just talking about just not having discrimination towards them. So I don't know where the quote was that a 7-year-old should get surgeries or whatever.
It might be not in that portion of it, but that was part of the speech.
So I just want the specific quote then. I just want the specific quote.
But it's hard to Google things on the spot, so...
You can't find the quote?
You get the point.
But no, I don't get the point. I don't get the point because you're making up a quote.
That's fine. I can slow down for you.
But I just want the quote, man. That's it.
So there's this idea that if I don't use certain pronouns, right, that's bigoted.
So we're going to pivot now to something else?
Well, I'm just talking about this false dichotomy of the idea that people who vote conservative vote against the rights of gay people or LGBT or trans or something because they hate them. I think the actual reality is that there is basically a violent agenda against conservative, the type of people that are trying to keep to themselves or whatever. And there is I've called into a channel kind of like yours where
you're not even saying anything, man. Can you just get to the point?
Against Trump was that people need to be using these pronouns, but they can't even say how many pronouns that there are.
Okay, so we're now pivoting to pronouns since you couldn't find me the quote.
I just want to point out this is now 2 wild claims he's made and substantiated neither.
Okay. So, hey man, do you have the quote? You either have to give us the quote or concede.
You found the quote. He said that 8-year-olds shouldn't be bothered for being transgender.
I read the quote. I read the quote. I read the quote. You just are a victim of misinformation. So get the quote, man. So far, you have said two things that you couldn't prove. You're the perfect victim that they want for misinformation. Like you buy into shit so fucking easily.
Victim. So you're saying that I'm a victim?
You're a victim of misinformation. Absolutely.
So you're saying that because you don't have the Google skills to look it up, that you're
so do you have the quote? Yes or no? Apparently, you don't have the Google. Do you have the quote?
You're gonna say that the children, because
you couldn't prove it. You couldn't prove that. Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you since you don't
Give
know
the
how to
name
stop
of
talking.
one parent who has had their child taken away. One name. One.
All right. Nobody can hear you, man. Nobody can hear you. If you're talking right now, not a single person can hear you. Okay? You're talking to yourself. All right. So you need to be able to provide an example of the first two things that you mentioned. All right? Otherwise, you're just jumping from thing to thing that you heard on Facebook. So just prove one of the things. All right. Now you can talk. Now people can hear you. You there?
Bill Clinton is best friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, so we're now pivoting to Bill Clinton?
Your party is...
So we're now pivoting to Bill Clinton? Guys, we're just pivoted to Bill Clinton, apparently. So you got nothing else.
Do you care about that?
Do you have anything else, or are you just going to pivot? Okay, so you couldn't prove your first 2 points because you're a fucking idiot. So now you have to go to this third thing?
Here's something that's easy to prove. How about Kinsey? You know who Alfred Kinsey is?
All right, you're done. God, that was a painful conversation. It was a very painful conversation.
So he's complaining about your Google skills, but he knows for a fact these things happened and he can't find them.
Oh my gosh.
Either one.
That was embarrassing on his front. All right, anybody else? Opposition? Like, did he really go to Bill Clinton?
He really did. It was kids are being taken away, can't find anything there. Biden said that 7-year-olds should be getting hormones and surgeries. Didn't find that. It was you get persecuted if you don't use pronouns, but they can't tell us how many there are. And then Bill Clinton.
All right, this next guest, it's not going to be a long conversation. It's going to be very short. Hi, Johnny.
What's up?
What's up? What's up today?
I don't know. You got a prompt up.
Yeah, what do you got?
I don't like them.
Why not?
I'm not a fan of the gays, and I don't agree with the T, especially the T.
Well,
and what's the difference between a Q and the L? I mean, Q and the G.
Why aren't you a fan of gay people?
It's not natural.
What do you mean by not natural?
They're not able to reproduce.
So you don't like people that can't reproduce?
Yeah, I can't reproduce. So am I like not natural?
What are you? Are you L?
No, I just can't reproduce.
Well, at least you try.
Infertile.
That's a difference. At least you try.
No, I'm not trying. I actually chose to get a procedure to remove my ability to reproduce further than I already was unable to reproduce because I have PCOS.
Oh, so you were able to before?
No, I was partially able to, and then I fully removed my ability to because it was giving me pains.
Okay, but God made you to reproduce.
I don't believe in God.
Oh, that's a big problem in itself then.
No, not really.
So who started the
burden of proof
world?
is on you. You're the one making the positive claim. But either which ways,
who put your
the
eyes
fact
on
that
you?
I had a debilitating condition at the time and I wanted to remove my ability to reproduce says nothing about my morality or my worth. It says everything about your opinions about my body, which makes no freaking sense, considering the fact I'm in a loving relationship, not including you. And it really does not matter to my partner whether or not I can reproduce.
But you know what? I don't agree with the people who want to cut off their bloodline and not be able to
So,
add to
just
their...
out of curiosity, you still think that I am not natural because I was born with a condition that made my monthly cycle debilitating?
No, I have facts why I don't like this community.
So, still, you think I'm not natural because I had a debilitating condition.
You had PCOS.
PCOS with
Okay,
some
you grew a little
variations.
facial hair. It's all good.
It's not just that, actually. And actually, I did not have the type of PCOS that results in facial hair. I had the type of PCOS that results in debilitating monthly cycles. In fact, I didn't have hirsutism, which is when if somebody were to grow too much hair and excessive body hair. There's 3 different classifications of PCOS, which tells me everything I need to know about you because you don't actually understand what the fuck that condition is.
I have a crazy story about a girl with PCOS, but I want to talk about the topic.
So again, you don't actually understand
that's
what
all
PCOS
good.
is.
People said I only have opinions. I have facts. I have paper right here.
No, you don't. You literally. So I told you about a condition I have, and you decided to make assumptions about that condition when there's actually 3 classifications.
Don't worry, you'll
3
be
different
all right.
types of PCOS that have literally very different symptoms
You
and
gotta
outcomes.
you gotta talk to a doctor about that. But what I have here are notes.
No, you have to talk to a doctor about it because you actually have to understand what you're talking about before you make assumptions.
Doctors are supposed to help me, not you.
Yeah, they should help you. They should help you actually understand the
No, it
human
helps me that I'm
body rather
sick
than
or something.
making assumptions.
I'm not gonna ask. Hey, I have a girl that knows that has PCOS. I don't. That's your problem.
So again, do you think I'm not natural?
Can I
have a condition that I
answer
was born
the
with?
prompt? She did some surgery where she can't get pregnant no more.
Yeah, so am I not natural?
No.
But you just claim that people who can't reproduce because of the way that they personally are attracted to other people and they can't reproduce. You said that that's not natural, but apparently me being born with the same type of condition.
I think people should not be attracted to the same sex.
That's not a choice.
It is.
No, it's not.
I feel like people get altered to start doing that. Like when I was in 5th grade, in middle school, there was no people from this community. And now I know, no, there wasn't. No, but then when I, it's not to me, it's to everyone. There was but in my middle school or elementary school, no. No, there was not. But then when it became, people now are altered to swing that way. Because I know one of my little cousins, she's in 5th grade, she told me there's people in her class who are that now. I'm like, we didn't have that back in the day. No, I feel bad. They're not going to heaven.
Ain't no hate like Christian love.
It says in our Bible, a man should not. It says in our Bible.
What it also
You don't
says
care
in the
about your book
Bible?
club.
You know what it also says in the Bible, Johnny? It says in Deuteronomy 22:28-29 that if a man seizes a woman, aka grapes her, then he has to pay her father 50 shekels and then marry her. So do you think it's also moral that a rapist marries the victim?
I guess that would be a punishment.
I'm asking you, so you think that it's moral that the rapist marries the grape?
No,
That's crazy,
I think
bro.
because the Bible and all the religious books, it's how you interpret it.
No. You don't
And-
have
How
to
you
give it
interpret it.
context if
And-
you're
Interesting.
citing the Bible for your moral standing,
Well,
and yet you also think
that's supposed to prevent rape.
that's crazy. Prevent rape, bro. You're saying the punishment is that the rapist marries the victim and gets to continually grape the victim throughout the rest
It's like
of his
you're
life.
not-
That's
it's-
insane.
It's teaching people you're not supposed to do that, because if you do that, then you're gonna have to get 50 shackles and you have to marry her. So people are like, all right, I'm not
That's
trying to marry.
not punishment.
That's what?
They don't.
How's that
not a
Do you think people would want to publicly marry the? You think the rapist would publicly marry the person they're
I
raping?
do, because then he gets to
I
grape her
disagree with
more
that.
and more.
I disagree with that.
You're crazy. That's insane.
This is
That's an
this
insane
is
take.
insane.
This is not insane.
You're saying it is a punishment for the rapist to marry the victim
People
and then
who
continually grape the victim for the rest of his life.
People who
That's
grape try to get
insane.
away with it.
And you also can't even pronounce
And
shekels
they would.
correctly.
And Johnny, in this
can't.
situation, they would be getting away with it.
No, they don't
Yes.
want people to know about the person they did that to.
Back
The
then,
mental
women were property. They didn't care what people thought of what they did to women. Women were property.
the mental gymnastics is wild.
And I'd like to give the notes why I do not support this community.
Okay, so
I did this research last year, and I've been adding to it. This community is 2% of the population. 2. Okay. They hold. Think about 2%. Wait, hold on.
I just wanted to say. Wait, no.
My turn.
I just wanted to say, because you can't even pronounce shekels correctly. Just so you know, 1 shekel is worth 0.33 to 0.34 US dollars. So you're saying that it's a punishment for the rapist to have to pay 15 freaking bucks to the father, and then have to marry the rape victim for the rest of her life.
Back to my point.
You are
wild.
Excuse me.
But Johnny, you're the one that's
2% of the population. They hold 78%.
Johnny, you're the one that's advocating for grape and justifying grape. So I'm not sure we can get past that. You are.
I would not do that to
you. But you're doing it right now.
I would not grape you. The fuck?
I never said that you were graping me. You're justifying it and making it okay.
I'm not justifying it.
Yeah, he's justifying a rapist graping a victim and then having to pay $15 to the father. Wow, what a punishment.
$15 back then was worth a lot now. But the thing is,
I'm
2%
sure,
of the population, they hold 78% of the STDs in the world, 67% of all AIDS cases, 55% of all HIV cases, 82% of all...
you still think the Bible is applicable to today's society? And just so you know, you're in the same party that is against vaccinating against HPV, which prevents cervical cancer.
We're not talking about the Bible.
So please do enlighten me how anti-vax is better, how the Bible is above all, even though you think that it's applicable to today's society. And yet, you're citing that $15 is more expensive in the that's crazy. I'm sorry. $15, crazy.
Yeah, Glenn, I can't let a guy talk who, number one, slurred right there at the end, and two, just can't not talk over people. It's not that difficult to not talk over somebody. We're all adults. We all should be able to let people speak. And he's the one who was justifying rape and saying it's a punishment to pay $15 if you rape somebody. Yes, you're right, Randy. It would be 15 in today's dollar. Yes, I did drop you. This is correct. Someone, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay. All right. What's on your mind?
Is it okay if I ask Scientific Stitch a question? It doesn't regard the argument. It's something way different. Then I'll.
I mean, that's up to her, but I guess.
Scientific Stitch. Will anabolic androgens give me craniofacial development? Bro, I'll get you in a bit.
How the fuck is this relevant?
I'll get you in a bit. Just answer me, please. Are you knowledgeable on this?
That depends. It does actually depend, though, because it depends on your sensitivity to androgens. It also depends on how many androgens you're talking about there.
Okay. Thank you. That's it. So
right.
I'm not MAGA, and I don't hate any LGBT individuals, but I do think it's wrong. But I think it's an illness. Like it shouldn't be this way because it's unnatural.
What is being gay, trans, both, or what?
Yeah, all of it.
Okay, why? Why is it wrong?
Because it's unnatural. It's not the order of how things are supposed to be.
How are things supposed to be?
Man and woman, you, two people of the same gender, they can't be with each other, or you can't transition because it's wrong.
But then how do gay people exist if it's not supposed to be that way?
No, I'm not saying it's physically impossible. I'm just saying it's wrong because it's unnatural. If you're justifying it because up to free will, why don't you justify incest? Because it's the same thing.
Okay, so what do you mean by natural?
Brother, how things are supposed to be, like a man and a woman, just how things always were.
No, in general, what do you mean by natural? Just can you give a definition?
The order of things. If you think I'm gonna refer to nature and then you're gonna say, oh, some species, blah blah, some instances. Okay, it's not. That's not everything. It's not always like that. It's not the majority of how it goes. That's why I said natural.
But the majority doesn't dictate whether something is natural or not.
It does.
That's how the majority. Goes. The majority of people don't have red hair. That doesn't mean red hair is not natural.
Also, it should be mentioned that so even in species that reproduce heterosexually, in the sense that, for example, chimpanzees and bonobos, even though they reproduce with like the traditional like male gamete and female gamete, they actually do participate in homosexual behavior. I could cite homosexual behavior in female mountain gorillas, bonobos, and chimpanzees, which overlap in their specific sexual behavior, like how they actually act around each other. So, for example, touching same-sex genitalia, as well as holding same-sex genitalia partners, specific actual like partnerships between males and females, so like male-male and female-female in female mountain gorillas. So species that, even though they reproduce heterosexually, there's still a subset of their species that participates in homosexual behaviors. So it's actually incorrect to say that it's not natural, because biologically speaking, there are individuals, subsets of species that participate in homosexual behavior naturally, and we see this in nature.
Okay, but not all of nature acts like that. And okay, even if you guys are right on this
point, except they're the most closely related species to us. So we branched off from a common ancestor from those species, and so we actually have it written within our DNA to actually have this behavior naturally. So just because you say, oh yeah, we don't see it all around nature, that's why I brought up chimpanzees, gorillas, and bonobos specifically, because they're the species most closely related to humans.
Okay, you're right. So why can't you guys justify incest in the same way? If two consenting adults, their siblings or whatever, why would it be wrong in your view? Or in...
So the frontal cortex is not fully developed in children, so they're unable to make a fully, they're unable to fully consent because they're unable to have the fullest extent of critical thinking skills. And the ability to consent is necessary in order to engage in sexual acts and behaviors. That's the reason why we have age requirements for marriage, age requirements for drinking, age requirements for driving, because you're unable to have these critical consensual thoughts about other individuals. And this is also the reason why we ascribe, I don't want to say this for the TikTok, like the whole entire that stuff, but bad behaviors with adults and children and PDF files. That's the reason why we ascribe that kind of behavior to that kind of realm of criminal behavior, because the actual child can't consent in the same way. They don't have the neurological development.
I didn't say anything about kids. Okay.
No, that's the reason why we don't justify that. So we don't justify that because children can't consent.
I said two consenting adults, like they're siblings, like they're both adults. Like, why would it be wrong for them to engage in intercourse?
So it's societally wrong because engaging with somebody with such similar genetic patterns can end up in genetic disorders. So that's what we see in a lot of royalty from back in the day when this kind of behavior was actually not frowned upon. So if you look back at like royal European families, they did a lot of incestual behavior. And this resulted in a lot of genetic disorders. A really good example of this was a specific type of hemoglobin mutation, and I believe it was King Henry, King George, one of the two, but he had a specific kind of hemoglobin disorder which resulted him in being unable to go outside and unable to actually have a normal life. And so now, with our understanding of genetics, we look down upon that kind of behavior because it can result in genetic disorders that are debilitating for the child. So if we are to be moral and good, we wouldn't promote behavior that results in genetic disorders. But homosexuality does not result in genetic disorders because they literally can't reproduce. So
Yeah.
it's like,
That's if they choose to have kids. That's why then it would be wrong, because they're harming someone else that like is gonna come in the future, like their son or daughter or whatever. So then why would you say it's wrong, even if they do it safe or whatever? Like that's my same reasoning.
But I don't understand this. This gets brought up that in no way does this have to do with gay people or anything like that. No matter what our answer is here, I don't see how this is applicable to gay people.
That's why. Okay, no, wait. Why can't you justify like for the same reason? Because it's free will.
Listen. If you really
they're not gonna
want
harm
the
anybody.
answer, because you're begging for an answer here. Obviously, it's disgusting. Obviously, it's gross.
Oh,
Not something I would do. Let me speak. Let me speak. Obviously, it's gross. It's disgusting. Nothing to advocate for. If two siblings there was not a power difference and they really want to do it, go for it. I think it's fucking gross. Go for it. Have at it. I got better things to worry about.
What if I think two guys are gross? What if I think two guys are gross?
Nobody says you can't. Nobody says you can't think it's gross. That's not what we're talking about here. You can have your opinions. Nobody's saying you can't have your opinions. What we're talking about is the harm that's being done to them.
You said it's gross. They can't do it.
Huh?
Didn't you say that it's gross? They can't.
Yeah, if you don't want to engage with another man, don't. You don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to.
yeah, and also, again, this comes back to the idea of like genetic disorders. And a sibling having intercourse with a sibling is looked down upon because it can result in genetic disorders to a very high probability. With homosexuality and that kind of behavior, it's not the same. You're not going to have an increased risk of severe genetic disorders that are debilitating for the child. So we are able to also have our opinions on this stuff, but as we can see in places like Alabama, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that there's stigmas that exist in America, that they still exist, but it's not like we're legislating against it in the same way.
Okay, so my point still stands that if they choose to have kids, then you say it's wrong. But since they're not choosing to, you would say it's fine. But it's disgusting. Yes or no?
Okay, again, what does this have to do with the LGBT plus topic?
Because that's my reasoning for why it's wrong. Why you shouldn't do it. I look at them as like the same look, brother. It's both disgusting, both wrong. Shouldn't happen.
Okay, again, then don't sleep with another guy.
Okay.
Nobody's forcing you to engage in homosexual acts.
Okay, that's all. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Was that his whole thing? He just didn't like? Was he just grossed out by it, or what? Keep tapping and sharing, everybody, please. We are looking for opposition, okay? So if you voted for Trump, hit the request button. Make sure you guys click the red follow button on top left on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, if you can subscribe, please. Yeah, they like to bring that thing up every so often. I just don't see the relation.
Well, I think mussels are disgusting. Therefore, they should be illegal. There. Done.
Oh!
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to trigger a lot of people here.
That was kind of the point, yeah.
Yeah, none. That's all I wanted to do. But yeah, again, if you disagree with the background prompt, you can call in from the tube, or you can click the request button at the bottom of the screen on TikTok. This person, guys, John Money is not a gotcha. Whoever said that in YouTube, I don't know why you guys bring up John Money as if that's some sort of gotcha. I promise you, we all know about John Money. It's not something that we don't know about. Miguel, I think you purposely missed your point. The YouTube, I mean, it's the usual comments. I haven't been looking at the comments as much, but yeah, the same silly comments. Just don't own slaves yourself. That's also not a good argument because you are harming people against their consent. You're infringing upon their bodily autonomy by making them slaves. So that's a horrible analogy. We got cooked by that guy. What was the argument that cooked us? Give us the exact argument that cooked us, please. You guys want to check out the YouTube comments? They're very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. Johnny, you're not coming back up. See you in the box. You're not coming back up. If you guys haven't sent your heart me yet, if you can do so as well, that'd be helpful.
By the way, when I said mussels, I meant the sea creature, Mussels. I probably should have clarified that. I confused a lot of people in the comment section with that one.
Wait, you don't like mussels?
No,
I love them. They're so good. I love them.
I still have problems with that because they're so nutrient dense and they're so delicious and they're so amazing in pasta.
I agree.
I've tried. I've really tried. I swear. And what's the other one? I can't think the name of it now. It's like
clams, oysters.
I love clams. I love oysters. I love crab.
Lobster.
I like lobster.
Scallops.
I do.
Scallops.
That's the one. I hate them.
I love them. I love them.
I'm sorry.
Scallops are great.
I know. It's really weird that I like all those other things, but I don't like mussels and scallops.
That
I
is
don't
a
know
little
why.
weird. Yeah. Is it the texture or taste? Or both?
It's the texture. Yeah.
But that's weird that you don't like that texture, but you like oyster texture, which is objectively like more gross. The texture.
Objectively like a snot in a rock. I don't know.
Yes.
I can't explain
but yeah. But somehow it tastes good. I don't know why.
I don't know. I can't.
I don't eat oysters.
I can't empirically, objectively prove that it's gross. Okay, I just don't like it.
No, that's
I only avoid oysters because of the risk for Vibrio, which is a bacterial infection. But aside from that, the only foods I don't like is bittermelon, tripe, and durian.
I have no idea what any of those are.
Neither do I.
To give you context, tripe is the stomach lining of a cow.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ugh.
People eat that?
Yeah.
In the Philippines, it's very common.
Interesting.
Well, I can't yuck other people's cultures because if you grew up with it, you'd like it, right? So.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
I mean, there's stuff that we're all gonna, not like from our, traditions or whatever. But have you ever heard, by any chance, Doug or Scientific, the Jim Gaffigan sketch on seafood?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, please after this go watch it. It's so hilarious. He talks about how he hates seafood, but he goes on vacation to Cape Cod, and he describes how anyone ever came up with the idea to eat oysters, and he says, oh, I found a rock with a snot in it. Let's eat it. And he goes, okay, num num num. What's it taste like? Pneumonia. And it's so funny. It's hilarious. I know it doesn't sound funny coming from me, but that's kind of how a lot of people feel about seafood because it is slimy and has that very fishy taste that some people cannot stand.
I mean, I can see why people don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand.
My mom, I'm having a trouble finding words lately. It's my age. But my mom absolutely forbade seafood in our house growing up. She would not let it in the house. She hated it.
Interesting.
So when I started trying it out, it definitely was very strange. But eventually I grew to like some of it. So
that's good. I'm personally not really a picky eater.
I grew up with Pennsylvania Dutch food. Not the greatest variety there. So
Pennsylvania Dutch food.
Literally. It's true.
Once again, guys, if you disagree with the background, hit the request button at the bottom of the screen on TikTok, and you can call in from YouTube. Hey, for everybody in YouTube asking questions, you can look up like half the questions you're asking. Asking what IA means, that's a quick Google search. You can look that up if you genuinely care, which I don't think you do, but you can look that one up. Whoever asked if maps are allowed in LGBT plus community, again, quick Google search. Not that hard to look that up. All right, and Kerr, what's your name? Kerr? I don't know why you're getting offended by letters. Like, who gives a shit that there's more letters in it than there were like 40 years ago? Like, that bothers you? Why? You guys got to get over it. It's just letters.
I also will not eat raw fish like sushi. I've never tried it, and I refuse. You can't make me.
If you don't wanna, you don't wanna. But I do think it is very good.
It's so good.
I know
It's very good.
hates me now. I know.
I don't hate you. I swear. I feel deeply offended.
I'm sorry.
Not offended. Wrong choice of words. I feel.
Are you sad for me because I don't?
Yes.
I won't eat it. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
immediately that. Yes.
My kids and my husband like it, so I'll let them eat it.
I
don't know. I have like a huge fear of foodborne illness, even though I know that that's not where most of it comes from. It actually comes from like packaged salads or whatever. But I just,
to be honest, most foodborne illnesses come from, specifically, raw shellfish like oysters and shrimp and squid. They also come predominantly from raw or unpasteurized milk. I hate it with every fiber of my being. And then third is vegetables, but vegetables are actually pretty low. The only reason why there's such a high prevalence of food-related illnesses from raw vegetables is because of poor human handling. Viruses from human hands get passed on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that most people who don't have like a lot of knowledge about that would ever guess. If you ask them to guess where most of foodborne illness comes from, they probably wouldn't have that on the top of their list. But yeah, I just have like a huge fear of getting something from like raw fish or raw meat,
Hey, Snitch. So the first thing that you mentioned, did you say shrimp and what else did you say? Did I hear that right?
Shrimp, oysters, and other. Oh man, I'm forgetting the family name, but octopi and squids.
So is that by an absolute number or a percent, like a per capita type thing?
That's based off of the prevalence of contamination in these foods. That's what I go off of predominantly because it's the most reliable.
Yeah,
it
that makes
adjusts
sense.
for how much the people eat. So, like, for example, people eat a lot of vegetables. So even though there's a lot of, even though, like, some contamination does exist, because more people eat it, they're at a higher risk because more people eat it, not because there's more contamination.
Yeah.
But when it comes to squid, shellfish, they're bottom feeders, so they end up literally taking in these parasites and forming symbiotic relationships with them so that way they can stay alive while still being a filter feeder, and you end up with more of these parasites and bacterial organisms in your food.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. You're allergic to coconut. I don't really like coconut, personally.
See, and I love coconut, so there you go.
I just like. Would you like coconut? Would you like coconut on, or like what type of coconut-based things do you like?
Like,
Do
anything.
you like Mound Bar? Is a Mound Bar is coconut?
Oh, I love those. Yeah.
Or is it Almond Joy? Wait.
Both of them have coconut. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them just has almonds on it, and the other one doesn't. But
I see.
I like coconut milk, coconut oil, raw coconut. I like it all. Yeah. I also love now watch the comments come for me. Cilantro. I love cilantro.
I like cilantro. I do. But people always say it tastes like they say it tastes like soap but for some it's good soap though.
No, some people have a gene or some kind of genetic reason why it tastes like soap to them. So if you don't have that, then it's not going to taste like soap. It's going to taste like cilantro.
But no. So I like it, but I can see how people don't like the taste though. I don't know if I necessarily compare it to like soap, but like
yeah, I can understand it's a very strong, unique flavor.
It's a unique, yeah, it is, yeah.
But it's like my favorite flavor in the whole world. I love it.
I love coconut so much, specifically Jinatang Bilo Bilo and Biko Tap de Boutique. Those are my two favorite ways to have coconut. Biko tabletlik is basically a coconut sticky rice that is cooked down with coconut milk and cream, and then topped with a coconut caramel. And then jinatang bilo bilo is basically a coconut cream soup with a bunch of like sweet beans and sweet fruits and things like that, with coconut cream and rice balls. It's
Both of those
good.
sound absolutely amazing. I've had mango sticky rice, which is like a
Oh yeah, I've
Thai
had that before.
food.
Yeah.
That's got coconut.
Yeah, no,
in
I mean,
it.
listen. Okay. When I say I don't like coconut, it's like, just like not my favorite thing. But if there are certain things that like use coconut oil or there's like parts of coconut in there, that's fine, I guess. But it's just not my like go-to thing, I suppose.
Librarian, if you really enjoy coconut, I highly recommend jinatang bilo bilo. It is one of my favorite desserts ever.
That sounds so amazing. I'm gonna have to write that down. Seriously, I know I would love it.
If there's any ops left, again, you guys can come on up, hit the request button on TikTok. If mods, you guys can help try to invite people. That would be great.
You know, we always end up talking about food when there's a lull in the conversation.
Yeah, I know. I'm always eating in between stuff. I have this big bag of Cape Cod chips that I'm eating. I love Cape Cod chips. I don't know, you can't see it. Cape Cod. There you go.
Oh yeah, I love Cape Cod chips too. They're my favorite back in New York.
They're my favorite type of chip by far. They're definitely better than Lay's.
Oh, they're very good. They're the like super extra crunchy ones, right?
That's why I like it. Yeah, they have that crunch to it. That Lay's just it lacks. Lay's lacks the
Lay's,
crunch.
you taste a lot more of the oil, you know.
You do,
but with
big
those,
time.
the crunch is really nice.
Yeah. I think I opened up this bag yesterday, and it's almost gone now. Ate quite a bit of chips. Hal's? I've never seen Hal's. Are they in like regular grocery stores? Or is that one of those things that's like in like unique grocery stores? All right, this person keeps saying this. What is this comment here? You cannot have sexual orientation if gender is a social construct, period. So why are you here? Do you not believe your own talking points? What do those have to do with each other, Jeff?
I think that people who think that believe that just because something is a social construct that it no longer like actually exists. However, the problem with that thinking is that social constructs do exist because we literally put them into existence. And by that nature, like they're based off of not only the things in society, but also various traits that may actually be biological. And even though the social construct as a whole is not purely biological, but also based off of societal beliefs and societal opinions and feelings, it's still linked to certain very real biological traits. So like, for example, I believe I showed the brain sex index one or two times when I was going live with you. And if somebody's brain sex index is a little bit more female, that's still a biological trait, but how we interpret that in being like more feminine or being more masculine, that like interpretation of how people act is the social component. So it stems from a inherent misunderstanding of how social constructs work. So like in the same way that like race, it's not a biological construct. The actual the definition of what race is in our society is based off of social characteristics and how we interpret other people. That being said, the adaptation to have darker skin in more UV exposed environments, that's still a biological trait.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully, whoever said that on YouTube, you got your answer. Hopefully, you heard the answer. Chris said the movement is turning a blind eye to trans women attacking women in restrooms. Chris, you're going to have to give examples of that occurring, okay? You're going to have to tell us where and how that's so prevalent. Trans women attacking other women in restrooms. I hate to break it to you, it's the trans women that get attacked in restrooms more than anybody else. Hey guys, we are looking for opposition, okay? You're good, Ray, no worries. Happens to the best of us. Case, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
19.
All right. What's on your mind?
So, do you believe that men can
Okay.
be women?
Can you the chewing thing? Can you save it till afterwards, please?
Let me finish eating first. All right.
Okay. Do I believe men can become women now? You can unmute yourself though. You're on mute. Case, you're on mute. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So, do you believe men can be women?
Men can be women? No, women are women, men are men.
Okay, so we agree then. That men are men and women are women.
Sure. Yep. Tall people are tall people, short people are short people. Yeah.
And men cannot become women.
No, men cannot become women.
All right. I guess there's no point of disagreement here.
No, we do disagree. You just don't know why I'm saying that.
What do we disagree on?
Trans women aren't men becoming women. They already are women.
How does that work?
What do you mean, how does it work? Their gender is already that of a woman, right? So what you're saying
they're born women.
Nobody's born a woman.
Yeah, based on your brain sex index, as well as various other factors, as well as like androgen sensitivity, what kind of sex organs you may or may not have. All of these different things come together to help promote one's identity, but one's identity is not necessarily based off of the presence of these structures or the absence of these structures. A really good example of like all of this is that there is a woman who didn't know she had XY chromosomes until she gave birth to a baby who was having issues with, I believe it was like menstruation or something like that, and they decided to do a chromosome test, and they found out that she had XY chromosomes, and she was able to give birth with no assistance. She was able to have regular menstrual cycles, and she was perfectly fine. She just had XY chromosomes. She didn't have the expression of the male phenotype. She didn't have expression of small gametes. She had expression of large gametes, which are the female sex cells. So when we're talking about like the differences between sex and gender, one is based off of how you perceive yourself. The other is based off of the biological features you may or may not have. And in reality, even with biological sex, it's not just two biological sexes, because there is a spectrum of intersex individuals that are a little bit in between.
You don't believe that gender conforms to sex?
It doesn't. Not all the time.
Not all the time. So you're saying that what we learn in biology, for example.
You learned this in middle school biology. In college level biology, sex is not just one or two sexes. And the reason why we say this is because chromosomes are not as simple as you learned in middle school biology. When you get into college and you take a genetics class,
you understand
the first thing that they talk about is something called recombination, where chromosomes can recombine.
I understand.
Genetic material can hop from one, and genetic material can hop from one chromosome to another. So the genetic material that makes you a guy could hop from the Y chromosome to the X chromosome, and you end up having XXY chromosomes. You have XX chromosomes, but you may have male features.
Yeah, I understand.
So when we're talking about what makes somebody a specific kind of sex, I don't see it as a black or white thing, because that's how you should see it if you actually took college level biology.
I think you're making the mistake here that you're assuming that sex means chromosomes.
Oh no, I don't. I'm not just describing it to chromosomes. You could also talk about androgen sensitivity syndrome, like that woman who had XY chromosomes but had completely regular menstrual cycles. She's had the genes to produce small gametes. She had the genes to make a penis. However, she did not have one. She was a fully regular female with normal menstrual cycles and had a baby unassisted.
Yes. What I'm saying is, I'm not claiming that having specific this XY or XX chromosome is what makes you a female or a male.
I never said that either. I just gave that as an example.
So why are you giving that as an example if that's not what I'm claiming?
I gave you multiple examples. One example was the XY female who had the genes to produce.
So I don't think you listened to what I said because I gave you a few different examples. One example was somebody who had XY chromosomes, who is a fully functional female despite the fact of having the actual genetic material to produce a male. So even though she had the genetic material due to hormones and androgen insensitivity, she presented as a female. Then you also have things like the brain sex index, where individuals who identify as transgender females, or transgender women, I should really correct myself there, they had a brain sex index more akin to their aligned identifiable gender, which was being a woman. What is the brain sex index? Yeah, so there's various structures in your brain that are formed based off of how hormones interact with your brain and how you develop as an embryo into a fetus. And these structures are more so aligned with either being female or male. And if you want, I could go into like the specifics there, but I don't think you would understand it.
What does that have to do with your biological sex, though? I don't disagree that people can have differences in brain.
Yeah, the fact is that biological sex is a culmination of multiple different variables, from your brain sex index to how hormones respond in your body to your actual chromosomes. That's why I gave 3 separate examples.
Biological sex conforms to only two
It doesn't.
characteristics.
It doesn't.
Whether or
Not
not,
according to biology.
according to the definition.
Not according in biology. I can go with an NIH definition if you like.
Wait, Case, can you restate that? Can you restate that again? You're saying that it's based on what?
2 characteristics.
Just 2.
Reproductive role.
There's more than that. We can
What else is there?
Yes, so according to a 2022 review which discusses some of the definitions here, sex, death, and...
What review? Wait. Can you give the title of whatever you're referring to?
Yeah, sure. So let's talk about Biological Sex by Irene Miguel Aliaga, PMID 351-97611. This is a review just from 2022. Biological sex, or how it's referred to in the article, sex refers to biological attributes that distinguish organisms as male, female, intersex, and hermaphrodite. So it's not just 2. An intersex is a spectrum. Because you have things like, for example, XXY, you have XXXY, you have XY females, you have XY males. So it's not just one or the other.
Earlier, you said that you're not going off of chromosomes. Now, you want to define sex based on...
So intersex also refers to things like androgen insensitivity, which is not based off of chromosomes. It's based off of your response to androgens.
But what about reproductive roles?
So I already provided you with a definition that says that biological sex is not just binary. So are you going to admit that you are wrong?
I'm going to admit that you are saying one thing.
You are wrong.
That sex is not based on chromosomes, and then you're going back to the definition of chromosomes.
Because I'm not just. I gave an example to help you understand because you don't
how is
understand.
Your example relevant? How is your example relevant if you're gonna say that you're not basing this off of chromosomes? But
it's not based solely off of chromosomes. Hold on, it's not based solely off chromosomes. There's numerous traits that apply. What? There's numerous traits that apply to this, and she's not saying it's just chromosomes. That's not what she said.
Yeah, I gave an example. Giving an example.
I don't think there's a point to that example.
It's not just one thing. So if you actually read the definition, which I literally just gave you.
Why should I believe?
Sex refers to biological attributes that distinguish organisms as male, female, intersex, and hermaphrodite, not just male or female.
What are these? Oh wait, can you say that again? Sorry.
Go to the article yourself and read it if you can't listen.
All right, sure.
The PMID is 351-97611.
What?
Oh my God. You don't even know how to actually look up a research article? Go into Google.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
In the Google search bar, the letters PMID.
What is PMID?
Jesus Christ.
97611.
Give me the title of it. I can search it.
Oh my God. Titles don't come up as readily as the public medical identification number for the actual article itself. Because we're looking at a research article. We're not looking at google.com, some blog post by XYZ influencer. So go into your Google search bar.
Sure.
Press the letter P on your keypad. Press the letter M on your keypad. Press the letter I on your keypad, and press the letter D on your keypad. Now press the colon, if you can do that. It's shift, and then the little colon with the
like the comma bar there, the semicolon, you know that button? Do shift and then press the semicolon button. Then do 35197 611. The numbers should be at the top of your keypad. Now press return.
That's not even the right article. But whatever. That's not even relevant. That's not even relevant to my point.
It is literally an article that's published in Natural Revolution Molecular Biology.
But that's not relevant to my point. My point is that
yes, it is. You asked for a definition. I gave you a biological definition in an actual research article, and you couldn't even Google it.
That is a definition from a specific article. That's not the definition that is widely accepted in the entire scientific field.
How do you think research articles are?
Are you saying that these researchers are the people who? Sorry.
All right. Do you want me to go to the NIH bookshelf then?
I want you to go to Google and type the definition of the word, the dictionary definition, not the definition by specific researchers who want to use.
Well, we're going by science. We're not going by
unorthodox definition of the word.
Merriam-Webster, dude.
That's not an orthodox definition.
Because I've never seen anyone else.
What is it you're specifically wanting here? I'm very confused.
I want you to admit that there are two biological sexes, and biological sex conforms to.
But it's bimodal, though. There's
the folk understanding of gender.
Okay, hold on. It's bimodal. We understand there's two typical sexes. We all understand that, but it's bimodal, meaning there is still a spectrum between the two.
How is it bimodal if there's only two categories?
Because they're not just two categories. That's what bimodal means. Otherwise, it would be binary. It's not binary. It's bimodal.
Okay, so maybe it's because we don't understand. You don't understand the definition I'm using here.
My definition of sex. It's just not that. It's objectively not binary. If it was binary, there would be just everybody in this one category, everybody in the other category with the same traits.
That's not what binary means.
But that's not true.
Binary means that there's only two roles. Two reproductive roles that exist.
Right, and nothing else, and no in betweens. But that's not the case here. But that's not the case here.
There's the male reproductive role and there's the female reproductive role. Do you agree with that?
But again, that's not the only case. That's what I'm saying.
That's not even a definition of sex. That is actually a definition of gender, because the role of somebody in society is a social construct. Now, just to give you another one, since you seem to not actually care about. I'm very confused why you don't care about a definition given by actual scientists, but you care about some random Webster online. Make sense.
You mean like the Google definition is a random Webster online?
Yeah, so I actually provided you with a research article written by a researcher. You provided me with a .com website.
I think
that's simplified for people like you who don't understand biology.
The Google definition is more authoritative than a random researcher.
No, definitions and dictionaries are not prescriptive, nor are they based on scientific evidence. They're based on.
I'm not mentioning. I didn't say anything about prescription.
Also, it should be mentioned that this is not just some random researcher. When you are recruited to write a review article in a scientific journal, you are invited to do so because of your expertise on the subject, and you're invited to do so on a specific topic, so that way you can provide the general consensus. So people like myself, who are currently in the field trying to do research and find new questions, can readily go into the science and read about what is going on in the field, because that is the general consensus at the time. I gave you an updated research article from 2022, whereas the previous one was from 2016. So no, I'm giving you the current consensus in the scientific field of people who are doing research on this topic.
A consensus is something that I can open a biology textbook and I will see this definition. That's a consensus.
Biology
consensus is not something that a random article. Sorry,
biology textbooks are outdated. That is why you go to review articles when you are an actual researcher.
So are you saying that biology changed in the 16 years that the textbook was written?
Yes, it did. Have you seen how many research articles just have come out in 2026? Since January, when I first checked PubMed, because I'm actually in the field, unlike you. Because I'm actually in the field trying to do research, unlike you. When you first check PubMed at the start of each year, there's already 200 plus articles that have been published.
Okay, let me ask you this. Can you explain what changed in biology that would make it so that men...
Yes, definitions have changed because of case reports like that XY female with androgen insensitivity.
What does that have to do with reproductive roles?
We update definitions based off of new findings.
We
Do you
found
not
that there's
understand
a
how
new
the scientific
reproductive
method
role
works?
besides male and female.
Wait. I need to ask. What's
Yeah,
a
sure.
hypothesis?
A hypothesis
Yeah.
is a scientifically backed or based guess, I guess. I mean, sure.
That's a
That's not
good
like
guess. That's a good guess. However, what's a theory? What's a theory? Let's
a
see if you
theory
actually
is like
understand the scientific method.
a scientific model or something.
No, that's not a theory. A theory is an explanation of how the world works based off of experimentation that has been conducted over many years, as well as observations.
So that's just the same thing that I said, but in a long-winded way.
No, it's not, because a model is a specific so when you're modeling something,
Well, whatever.
you
I
can
don't
have
care. I
something
don't
like
really care about that.
A2A ANOVA, you can have a randomized block design, you can have nested variables inside of a specific model in order to analyze it. A scientific model or a statistical model is not the same thing as a scientific theory.
What is the relevance of this?
Yeah, the relevance here is that you're not actually in the field. You don't understand what the fuck you're talking about.
I never claimed to be in the field.
And when I gave you an explanation of what to actually understand, you are just denying it when you don't even understand what you're actually denying.
Did I ever claim to be a scientist?
You're saying that the scientist on the panel is wrong.
I'm saying no. I'm saying that the scientists on the panel do not. I'm saying what they're saying is not the consensus of the field. The consensus is why.
So you are invited to write a review article?
In a textbook.
No.
That is what consensus means.
Sir, you gotta shut up. So you are invited to write a review article when you're actually decorated in the field and the specific journal, and in this case, it was, I believe, the journal in like cellular and molecular biology. The thing is when you are invited to write an actual review article, and this was in, let's see the specific journal here.
Okay, so if I find
this isn't actually an extremely reputable journal, Nature Reviews Molecular Cell Biology. So it's one of the highest impact factor journals that you can find, just so you know. So it is the consensus because this individual was invited to write a review article discussing the definitions and cases and in like actual updates in the field in this very reputable and decorated journal. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and look up Impact Factor Nature Journal.
Can I speak then? Okay, so I understand that's intersex. There are natural variations in characteristics.
Oh my good lord. It's like he's just gonna ignore everything that I just said.
I'm not ignoring anything you said. I'm explaining to you what the misunderstanding here is. Intersex.
I gave you the definition in the article that you didn't even read because I had to literally spoon feed you how to look it up.
No. What happened is when you were trying to explain when you're trying to list the numbers, whatever, you were cutting out, so I couldn't even type it. So I'm not gonna.
So you didn't even actually look up the freaking article, and yet you're saying that it's wrong.
You were cutting out, like you were. I think you were switching pages.
Here, we're gonna go over this again.
Listen, let me explain something. When you switch to another tab, I cannot hear what you're saying.
No, I didn't switch to another tab. Everybody here was listening.
Everybody
and I
heard
had to spoon feed it.
Well, I did not hear.
So here, I will spoon feed it to you again. Please look down at your keyboard. Are you doing that?
Sure.
Okay. Press the letter P. Press the letter M. Press the letter I. Press the letter D. Now hold the key Shift and press the semicolon. Got it? Good. Now look at the top of your keypad, okay? You see all of the wonderful numbers. Now press the number 3. Press the number 5. Press the number 1. Press the number 9. Press the number 7. Press the number 6. Press the number 1. Press the number 1. And now press enter. What is the title that you are looking at the top of your search bar here now?
Let's Talk About Sex, an article written by a single person who you claim to be the authoritative figure in
Nature Journal, because you're invited to write review articles.
So this person
based off of your prowess in a field.
This one person speaks for the entire field of biology.
You're invited to write articles based off of your prowess in a field.
That's fine.
You don't
Okay.
just get to write articles willy-nilly because these are peer-reviewed
So
articles.
if I were to show you a study written by another biologist in the field that disagrees with
You're
their
not
conclusion,
going to find another person who says that sex is binary in this field because it's not
fine.
binary.
Okay.
Okay, then try to find one. Then try to find one. Then find
That's
somebody who
fine.
would say that.
Here's an article titled "Intersex Does Not Violate the Sex Binary," written by another biologist.
Called inner.
This is the consensus of the field. Sex is binary. Do you disagree with
No,
that?
it's not.
Do you disagree with that consensus? If I were to open a textbook,
How
like
do
my
you know
biology
it's?
textbook
How
from
do
high
you know
school,
it's? How do you know it's the consensus?
because it's in the biology textbook. That's what
No, this
consensus
is not in
means.
a biology textbook.
Every
And just
single
so you know, I'm
yes.
going into the journal right now, but this is not as reputable of a journal as Nature Journal, which is currently the top of the field. In fact, this is actually in, oh wow, impact factor of 0.5. This sucks. And it's in the Catholic Medical Association. This is pseudoscience. Are you kidding me? Oh man. Let's see. Is Catholic Medical Journal in the list of Beale's list of predatory journals? Let's see. Medical Association Journal, Beale's list. Let's see. I'm just curious.
Hang on. The article that he just gave us is a supplement to the Vatican's opinion on gender theory?
Yeah. I gave him an article from Nature Journal, which
and
is literally
the Vatican's
top of
opinion on
science.
gender theory is the scientific consensus now?
No, the scientific consensus is that what is
This
stated
was
in
published
textbooks.
in Catholic Medical Association,
That
bro.
is just one example of
Yeah,
biologists who disagree with.
unfortunately,
No, that's an example.
your example is not at the top of like scientific consensus. So Nature
So
Journal
because
has
this
one
one
of the highest
biologist is
impact
less
factors for a
reputable,
reason.
are you saying because my biologist is less
Do
reputable
you
than your
understand how
biologist?
science? Do you understand how publications are ranked? How are publications ranked? Real quick. Let me see if you actually even understand science.
Why would I know that?
Yeah, because you're not a scientist. I do,
When did I claim
because
to be a
I am
scientist?
actually in the field.
You never.
When did I
That's
claim
not.
to be
Nature
a scientist?
Journal has one of the highest impact
Is your
factors
argument
for
here that I'm not a
reference.
scientist? That's the only argument you have.
Impact factor for Nature Journal. I don't remember off the top of my head. So the Nature Journal has an impact factor of 48.5, which is basically a rating of how much this journal is cited by other scientists. In other words, it indicates what is the consensus in the field based off of what is published in this journal, because it's highly peer-reviewed, it's extremely decorated, and it has a very high impact factor, meaning more scientists actually cite this work. Now, the impact factor of the journal you just cited is 0.5. The article that I cited was published in a
So are you
journal
like
with an
power
impact
scaling?
factor of
Are you
48.
okay? Are we power scaling like articles or something? I don't.
Yes, we are, because
That's
we're
not
ranking it
relevant
based
here.
off of how likely it is to be the actual consensus in the field.
Okay, let's talk about actual science, not about
Yes, this
appeal
is
to
actual
authority.
science.
You're
It's
appealing
based
to
off of
authorities.
it is based off of an actual journal in the
You know what the
scientific field
fallacy
that is
appeal to authority
actually
is?
regularly cited, dude.
You know what the logical fallacy appeal to authority
Oh my god, this is not a logical fallacy appealing to authority, because the impact factor represents how much an article is actually cited within a journal.
What does
So
that have to do
your
with
article
science?
is not cited by scientists in the field of science. That's not the consensus.
Do you agree that sex is evolved? It's an
Oh my
evolved
good
system.
fucking
It's an
lord. I
evolved
can't with
characteristic.
this guy. Dude, I literally can't.
What do you mean you can't? You're just listening.
No,
random
because you're not
people.
listening to a single thing I said.
I listened
You
to
are
everything you said.
arguing with consensus. You are arguing with the consensus.
Okay, the point of contention is that your consensus is a false consensus.
No, you're not even providing any consensus. You provided me with
Okay,
an article published in the Catholic Medical
fine. Okay,
Association
fine.
with an
You want
impact
me to
factor
open
of
a textbook? You want me to
0.5
open a
with
biology
a
textbook
5-year
now?
impact factor of 0.6, whereas
Fine.
I cited an article with an impact factor of
How about I
48.5
cite a
because
biology
more
textbook?
scientists actually fucking cite the journal.
Okay, fine. That's fine. How about I cite a textbook?
Yeah, so you didn't cite the consensus.
Let me go find my textbook in biology and
I
cite the
literally
definition.
cited you an article.
What do you think holds more value? An article written by a single person or a textbook meant to
What do
teach
you think holds
hundreds?
more value? An article written in a journal that is heavily peer-reviewed and cited by other scientists?
Okay,
or
I'm
an
granting you
article
that.
written in a journal that is not
I'm
cited by
granting you
any
that.
other scientists
Okay,
aside
fine.
from the Catholic Medical Association, which is literally the fucking Vatican?
I'm granting you that your article is.
If you're not going to respond to me, then I'm just not going to respond to you. Have a good day.
What?
Yeah, I'm good talking to him. He refuses to engage with the topic
I
at
am.
hand, so
I'm
why would
literally
I care?
engaging. What do you mean? All you're
I
doing
gave you an explanation why your article is not the consensus and why my
and
article is the consensus and represents it. You have yet to provide me with any relevant
wait. So
literature
you
on
think
the
if I
topic.
disagree with you, I'm not responding to you if I disagree with your
No, because you're
conclusion?
claiming that you actually understand things that you don't have a clue about. So why?
I don't understand
Why would I want to
journal
continue
power scaling.
talking and
Well, I
wasting my
understand.
breath on somebody who doesn't actually understand what the literature says on the topic? So yeah, I'm done talking to you.
What I said was that you disagreeing with what I said is not.
We'll get to the next one. It's fine. Hey guys, we're looking for opposition, okay? If you're enjoying live, make sure you click the red follow button on the top left of the screen. Make sure you guys also send and heart me as well. It just helps with the algorithm. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys like the live as well. I greatly appreciate that. Daniel?
Hey there, how you doing?
I'm great. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
Hey there, how are you doing?
I'm great. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
I am 33.
I think you said 33. All right. Your connection's really not good, man. But what's on your minds? Daniel going once. Daniel going twice.
33. Right, 33, can you hear me?
Yes, what's on your minds?
The scientist, do you think that Leah will be able to...
Nobody can hear you. You have the shittiest fucking connection ever.
I'll say that one more time. Should Leah Thomas be able to compete against women in swimming?
We can have a conversation, but you have to have better connection.
Yes or no?
So if they've been on hormone replacement therapy for a period of time, I believe it's like 3+ years, then their advantages are no more different than other women. So I would not say that it would be.
So Leah
in
Thomas,
fact, actually, most individuals who are on hormone replacement therapy have a little bit of a
Leah
disadvantage.
Thomas, who is 6'5".
Oh God.
But Daniel,
Leah
Thomas isn't ever coming first. Leah Thomas never came in first place. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, good Lord. So if somebody's been on hormone replacement therapy,
is a lie.
Leah Thomas did not.
Leah Thomas never came in first place.
Leah Thomas did not come in first overall. No.
She came in first place in a single swim. She never came in. She never came in first.
I do appreciate that you're respecting
are you
her.
kidding?
I do appreciate that you're respecting her.
This is why I don't like you.
That's very nice of you. You're
he. I'm sorry, he.
Oh, so you had to correct yourself.
It's a guy
to be
in a
transphobic.
bikini.
So you had to correct yourself to be transphobic.
They don't wear bikinis.
You're correct.
It's a guy in a bikini.
They don't wear bikinis.
They don't wear bikinis. What are you talking about? They don't wear bikinis.
Where? What do they wear?
A one-piece swimsuit.
What do they wear? A one-piece bikini?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Do you know what a bikini is?
Scientist. They don't.
Your connection is just so bad, man.
Bikini, correct?
A bikini means two pieces. The first two letters, B-I, means bi, meaning two. Bikini, bikini,
two
pieces.
Okay, they wear a one piece. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
That's right.
Okay, it's a guy in a one piece. Teaching women swimming. You're for that, correct?
Yeah, we've already answered the question.
I feel the same way about it that Scientific does.
We've already answered the question. We are fine with trans women playing with cis women, yes.
I know. So you're for guys beating women. Okay. That's awesome.
No, I believe trans women are women, not guys. So
that's why this is why Kamala lost every single swing state.
Kamala didn't talk about trans people at all. Kamala didn't talk about trans people at all.
It's because of people.
She never mentioned trans people. She never mentioned trans people. Okay.
Yeah, it's because of people like you.
She never mentioned trans people.
Thank you very much. I just came up here to thank more.
That has nothing to do with why she lost.
People like you.
So the top 3 reasons Okay, the
Every
mute button's not
single
working. The
sweet
mute
state.
button's not working on him for some reason. I hate when that happens. Anyways, the top 3 reasons, if you looked at the exit polls, had nothing to do with trans people. I don't even think that was on the top 5, actually. The top one was the economy. Number 2, I think, was the border. I forget what 3 was, but it was the border and the economy as part of the exit polls. That's at least why they voted for him. Now, there's, of course, other reasons, but it had nothing to do with trans people. You know, trans people were a thing in 2020, right? Like, they existed. Biden won, so clearly it had nothing to do with that. All right, let's get to the next one. Hey guys, we are looking for opposition, so if you voted for Trump, if you disagree with the context of the background, hit the request button, please. All right. Ugh, I don't want to have to bring this guy up. Hello, King.
Hey, how's it going? I don't disagree with the background. I actually agree with the background. It's not really a disagree or agree. It's a question. Why do you hate? So it's the improper question you're asking other people if I agree or disagree with your background, my dude. But yeah, you know, LGBTQ, to me, to be honest, sometimes they go a little overboard. And I find that kind of annoying. And I find that just kind of turns me off. Like, it's like, yo, these people. So there's like regular LGBTQ people that, you know, act like a human being. They're not out there showing, you know, hey, I'm LGBTQ, or they're not going overboard into their promiscuous LGBT, you know, attire.
What do you mean by overboard?
Overboard, that's exactly overboard, meaning they're telling everyone, they have to let everyone know.
Somebody dislikes you so much they paid to kick you. Vicky, thank you so much, Vicky. Vicky, what you sent, you can have another kick, okay? So, Vicky, thank you for the 40 on the blue out with the V. It says, I can't with King E. Yes, he is very, very annoying. But, Vicky, it is only 20, so I do really appreciate that. Let's have a W Vicky in the comments, okay? That's spelled V-I-C-K-I. And, Vicky, you can use it for another one since you sent, like, double. Just let me know, like, in the chat or something like that. Or you can just send, like, a Venmo request with a note or something. Obviously, yeah, just whatever. Thank you, though. Yeah, you can bank one. All right, I'm not going to bring up the next one because it's Liam, and we already spoke to Liam like last week. He's like a once every 3 month person, so sorry, Liam. You got to wait a couple more months. But if anybody else wants to come up, you're welcome to. Nah, I can't have King and then Liam, right? You only can have one. Can't have both. Liam should be a never person. Oh, wait, I think he might have... Was it Liam? I think Liam might have been fully kicked. Oh, yeah, he was on the other account. Hey, guys, whoever's the mod, block him, because I think he was permabanned. Wasn't he permabanned? Somebody let me know in the comments. Let me double check. Don't block him just yet. I'm almost positive he's permabanned. Yeah, he's permabanned. Yeah, somebody block him. Thank you.
Nice.
He probably doesn't have that many other streams to go into at this point, because I think he's banned.
You know,
like,
I
a lot
just
of
have
them.
to go off about something, and I know people are going to disagree with me. I understand. I'm speaking from the perspective of a live guest, not as a live host. I don't understand what it's like. Maybe if I did, I would feel differently. I'm just going to preface it. But I'm really tired of certain people bringing the same obviously problematic people up on their lives every single night and letting them spread the same harmful crap that they say every other night. Nothing new. And I just, like, it's one thing to talk to a new person who says harmful stuff and then you drop them. It's another thing to know these people are going to say really harmful things and then you can knowingly, continually let them up literally every single night. Just what is the purpose when you already know what they're going to say? Because they say the same things every time. Like Hoodlum, yes, that's a perfect example.
He's been
Why
blocked
is he up on
forever.
people's
I don't
lives
know.
every single night? What is the justification for that? Because I can tell you, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for any other community, but I know listening to these people say the exact same horrible lies and harmful crap that they say, for example, about E. Jean Carroll every single night definitely is harmful to me and every other assault survivor. And I'm sure the same goes for people in the LGBTQ minority communities that they say the same harmful crap about every single night. And the only reason I can think to have someone like that up on your panel night after night after night after night is because you like the drama. And you're not actually looking for productive conversation. Sorry, that's my opinion. Sorry.
No, actually, I don't think you're wrong. I think there are people, and I think this is something that I struggled with over the years of how to balance that out. Because I think there is sort of like a juggling game with it a little bit. Because like, yeah, you definitely don't want people up that spew constant misinformation over and over and over again. Because I think that does cause a net harm. At the same time, of course, like, you know, you need people to talk to, right? And people only watch when there's like disagreements, when there's arguments, debates, whatever the case might be.
I get that.
So
I really do.
so and I'm not justifying it by any means. I'm just saying there is a balance, I suppose, of
Yes.
like trying to have somebody up that we can have a discussion with, but like not somebody who's so problematic it causes them that harm.
Right.
You know?
Like, and I do.
So
I
I
have a lot of.
good.
Sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, so I when I first started doing lives, I think I did probably play into that more than I should have. At this point, I don't like, and my followers, you guys can let me know if this is not the case, but I try to very seldomly bring up like those problematic people, the ones that we all know about. If I do, I try to do it like very infrequently, just because of sort of what you said.
I do have a great deal of like, I don't know if empathy is the correct word for it, for live creators who are trying to run a show, and I understand they have to have people to talk to. They have to have opposing views, obviously.
Yep.
I totally get that. And when I first came on here like 5-6 years ago and that was occurring, I didn't feel as strongly about it as I do now, because literally some of those same people from 6 years ago are still being platformed.
Yeah, it's saying the same stuff. Yeah.
This is what I mean. Like, if you know someone says the same harmful stuff for years and years and years, and there are plenty of other ops who, even though they may be annoying and disagree with you, they don't say super harmful things the way these few, and we all know who they are, people do. And I'm just like over it. It makes it really hard to support a creator that you want to support when they continue to have those same people every single night. And it's even on panels with 8 people. They don't need that one person there.
Yeah,
there's like 3 other ops on there, you know?
Yeah.
And not only that, but these are the same people who will not shut up. They don't let anyone else talk.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. And I don't know. I sort of had a moral dilemma with some of those things, you know, because this is a part of my income, which I'm very open about. So I do struggle a little bit with that concept of, yeah, this is definitely a thing that I, get income from, but like, how do I use it in the best manner? And I don't ever want to like necessarily get money in an immoral manner, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to bring somebody up just for the sake of knowing that somebody's going to pay to kick them. Like,
pay to drop them, right?
Yeah, like there's been a few times where I brought somebody up and I specifically said, do not pay to drop this person, because they were somebody who was like problematic or whatever, and I just didn't want, because I knew somebody would, and I didn't want to do it just for that reason. But yeah, I don't know. It is tough, I guess, sort of for me to find that balance of like, yes, this is monetized, but like, how do I do it in a way that's not harmful for people?
I can absolutely understand that dilemma, 100%. I would never say I didn't. And like I said, when you're speaking from the perspective of someone who's just a panel guest and doesn't actually have to host the lives and make those decisions, my opinion only holds so much weight. I understand that. But if you were doing the same things that I'm talking about, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, I mean, like, I am just one person, and I, of course, have my own biases. So I do like to ask the chat and my followers if there's anything I ever do that is problematic, because they would be the ones telling me, right? They'd be more than happy to tell me if I was. So I try to communicate with them the best as I can and take their criticisms if they happen to have any. So I don't know. But no, I hear what you're saying. I definitely hear what you're saying. And it's not that your opinion doesn't matter. Like, if like people who follow me, people who are on my panel, I respect their opinions a lot. That's why I have them up. So like what you have to say, what Snitch has to say, what whoever has to say, whether it's about me or the streams in general. Yeah, I try to take it to heart. Yes, I just eat incorrectly, apparently. They don't like the way I eat sometimes. Not that I eat, the way I
I
eat.
can't believe you haven't been canceled for that yet, Doug. I just can't believe it. Like
They don't
the ice cream
like
alone.
it. The chewing? Are you talking about the chewing of the ice cream?
I chew ice cream too. I'm just picking on
Thank
you.
you. Okay,
Thanks. Yep.
I still can't believe that some people don't chew ice cream. I just don't believe it. There's no other way to have ice cream other than to bite into it. I think anybody who says otherwise is just lying. Yeah, it's a mush.
My partner Jackson, he eats ice cream with a fork, and it makes me really angry.
I sometimes do that though. I don't like purposely go out of my way to get a fork, but it serves the same purpose.
Doug
Right? It's
just
not like
did that 2 nights ago. He was eating ice cream with a fork
I was
2 nights ago.
But it serves the same purpose though. The only like if it were soup, yeah, obviously that'd be stupid. But like, it serves the same purpose. It gets the same amount of ice cream. I think it's okay. Yes, I've had. In fact, I'm going to get yogurt right now and eat it with a fork.
Oh my god, I can't let this. Like, using a fork for a spoon style makes me so angry.
It works.
Exactly, Meg. It's literally a crime.
Got my yogurts.
Okay, I can.
Got my fork.
Which kind of yogurt is that?
Ratio fiber and protein.
Okay, I can forgive you for that then.
This is very good. This is very good. Number one, this tastes good. And two, you get 20 grams of protein and 10 grams of fiber. That's really fucking good for a yogurt.
I love Oiko's 000. They reformulated it and it actually tastes amazing now.
Oh, really? Yeah, because I used to have that one a while back and it was all right, but it wasn't great. But yeah, it works with this yogurt just because it's really thick. Eating it with a fork, but if it was like runny yogurt, like traditional yogurt, it probably wouldn't work as much.
I cannot eat runny yogurt. It makes me ill. I can't. The texture. Oh no, I can't do it.
So you never liked Go-Gurt when you were younger? Remember those?
No. Absolutely not. I've never liked yogurt because when I was growing up, we only had the runny yogurt. We didn't have all these fancy Greek yogurts and stuff that we have now. We just had, like Dannon or whatever, soupy yogurt,
Dannon.
and I hated it. Or at least, if we did have it, my Pennsylvania Dutch diet didn't include it. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I get it. I can see why somebody wouldn't like the texture of like a more runny type yogurt.
It just made me feel sick. I don't know why. And I don't consider myself like a super picky eater, but there are some things that just kind of turn me off.
There's no way she would like the Danimals drinkable yogurt, Andrew. Based on what she said, I doubt it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I only like really thick yogurt, so I can totally agree with this.
You have to strain it. Strain yogurt? Is that a thing? How do they get 10 grams of fiber in here? And 20 grams of protein and make it taste good?
It has Miralax in it, Doug.
I'll find out.
Miralax doesn't even have fiber, to be totally real with you.
What was I Oh, Metamucil. I meant Metamucil. Sorry.
Metamucil.
Wrong M.
Oh, wrong M. Oh, here, it's soluble corn fiber. That's what's in here. And also chicory root fiber. Never heard of that one. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, anyways, guys, you should try this yogurt. It tastes really good. Good amount of protein, good amount of fiber. All right, where's the opposite? We are looking for opposition. Please. And if you're watching on too, remember you can call on in, okay? Snitch, how have your workouts been going lately?
Pretty good. I've just been, walking, doing my cardio.
What did you say you were doing?
I'm just finishing up my 90 minutes of cardio.
Oh, 90 minutes, Jesus. You do that every day, 90 minutes?
Yep, 90 minutes every day, even on my break days.
I don't know how you do it. I couldn't do 90 minutes. I mean, I'm sure you're like on your phone or reading something or watching something during it, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I usually do my study Quizlets. So I've got like 7 or so study Quizlets for finals next week that I'm working on. Because I've got my final exam on Monday and Friday. One for a high-level biostat class and the other for biochem. So I just do my Quizlets while I'm doing my walking, but also like being on here also helps pass the time.
I find it quite amazing how you're able to juggle both of these things. Like the fact that you're able to do what you do, like as far as school and everything, and then also have a social media following and keep up with that. Like one of those by itself is a lot. The fact that you're able to do both is like amazing.
I'm more impressed by the fact that she can be doing 90 minutes of cardio and talking to us at the same time and looking up articles. Like
the multitasking
one flight
is
of stairs
wild, right?
and I'm done. I can't.
To be fair, I've been doing this for a pretty long time. I used to run my own lives on like race realism and I believe it was race realism, evolution, and vaccines. And I used to do the same thing, so that's why I'm so used to it. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit easier because I have like you as well as librarian to like help me out whenever I'm like, okay, I'm freaking done with this shit.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, I want to be you when I grow up, scientific. I'm almost 50, but I think I can. Okay, no, I don't think I can do it, but I can try.
You probably can. You'd be surprised at what the human body can do. My mom, she's been trying to get back into the gym a lot, so I just gave her my workout routine. But also, if you're wondering, this is the cyber pad from your Evo that I'm walking on. It is really awesome, and it's great for a standing desk.
Yeah, my mom got something like that. I don't know if it's that exact one, but she got one of those treadmills that you're talking about. She likes it. Yeah, I got my mom, Amber. I got my mom into working out at the age of, gosh, she must have been like 6. It was during COVID. It was COVID, so she must have been 67, 68 at the time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she started all she had was really light dumbbells to start. Then eventually, I got her to get like more dumbbells, and eventually she joined the gym. She started deadlifting and squatting and stuff like that.
Wow.
She loves it. Yeah, she used to like not be a gym person at all, but she loves it.
Yeah,
now.
no, I don't.
And also a really cool thing. She had
Sorry, go ahead.
osteopenia. She had osteopenia when she started, and she doesn't have it at all anymore. But she's
that's amazing.
really, she's really happy about that. Yeah.
Well, there are some things I can do, but you know that I'm like headed for a double knee replacement here soon. So there's a lot of stuff that I can't do anymore, but I'm sure there are still things I could do,
I'm sure there are, yeah.
Just makes it a lot harder.
Yeah. Do you have like pain every day in your knees?
Oh yes. Yes. It's really bad. I can hardly. A lot of the time I end up using crutches or a cane when it flares.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's very severe at this point. I have no cartilage left in my knees.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's gotta be
well, if this can help bring any kind of hope in the future, right now we very recently, back in 2024, discovered a new tissue. It's known as the bubble wrap of the body. We discovered it initially in mouse ears, but also learned that it's in human ears and nose cartilage as well. And we've discovered the precursor cells to this tissue So one day we might be able to actually regrow your knee joints in a laboratory setting and then put them back in your knee.
Wow.
And
That
the
would be so
technology
cool.
isn't so far off now, so.
That's awesome. I keep saying to people, like, we've gone to the damn moon, we can do this and that, but they can't fix my goddamn knees.
We're very close to it, so as soon as we figure out how we can sustainably do this, like differentiate people's cells into these precursors, or using these precursors as like regenerative medicine, we'll be able to help out your knees.
That's really cool. I hope that happens soon. If not for me, then the people after me, because this is really hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it's not like you can just stop your life. I still have to do, all the things I had to do before. It's just hurts really bad.
Thank you, Mr. Good.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I'm really excited for what kind of technology this new bubble wrap tissue brings up because it's really interesting. And also, I have HEDS, so like I'm like extra bendy, and it causes me to like have like loose joints. So this is also science that I'm very interested in as well.
That's amazing. Love it. I barely passed my science classes. I won't be developing any new science anytime soon.
You know, my biggest flex as a scientist is that I got into this field because I hate math.
See, that's
You
weird.
really
'Cause,
hate-
like, I was really, really good at math, really, really good at English and all the languages, but I was horrible in science. It's the only reason I didn't go into like medicine, which is what I like really actually want to do, like nursing or something. I was afraid I would fail all the science classes. So,
Is it a specific science that you feel you're not good at, or is it just science in general?
all of them.
Oh,
I mean, I'm better at them now as an adult. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was just not interested. And that's why it was harder for me. But now I'm very interested in many of them. So it would probably be a lot different now.
Sure.
It just didn't come naturally to me, and I wasn't interested in it. So I was like, oh, this is awful.
No, that makes sense. I mean, you're not going to want to learn something. You're not going to have a propensity to want to learn something if you just don't find it interesting. And that's why I think sometimes having like certain teachers can be a night and day difference. Like a teacher who makes a subject exciting, all of a sudden you want to learn about it.
My first science teacher was this 80-year-old man named Mr. Valentinelli, who had an extremely monotone voice, and I can't imagine him making anything interesting in life. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. So with the advent of online courses in various institutions, I think it's never too late to get started with even taking like 1 or 2 science classes to learn a little bit more about it. And if you're interested, you could always test the waters. And I say that because I'm somebody who decided to make a last-minute career change when I was in college. And so I kind of can empathize a little bit with the idea of like not being interested in something and then suddenly being interested in something all at once and really wanting to dive into it. And I think it really helps with biology and physiology specifically to get interested in it by relating it to what you know now and what you experience as a person. So like
yes, absolutely.
Your experience with, I believe you said osteopenia or osteoarthritis?
Mine is osteoarthritis. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So your experience with osteoarthritis, if you were to go into, let's say, in a musculoskeletal anatomy course like the one that I had in my kinesiology degree, which was one of the courses that got me really interested in all of this, because I rolled over in my sleep one day and my rib literally fell out of place because of how lax my joints are.
Oh, geez.
So my entire journey in the gym and in science kind of stemmed from me struggling with my own body and my own physiology, and getting to understand it better really made me interested in the field. And then also having somebody who died from pancreatic cancer cachexia near me, I got really interested in cancer biology, and that's where I am now.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. It does, because obviously you go through a heck of a lot of life experience and learn things in the time between you're 16 and 50. And not only just my own like health experiences, but things like that I'm interested in debating now. all
Yeah.
very often relate back to some science.
Sure.
So that's made me more interested in it too. And I'm like, well, maybe I could just take one, community college level science class and see what happens.
Do it. And if you ever want, I have some old slideshows that I used myself to help teach some of my friends on like some of the content that I learned because they were interested in it. I used to help run for context, my boyfriend's a fitness coach, and he really wanted to learn more about physiology, so I ended up making a bunch of lecture slides to help teach him and as well as a few of his friends the things that I was learning in my classes. So if you ever wanted me to like send it over to you, it's a pretty good introductory, like it goes through each thing, and I
That
love
would be
helping.
so cool. Yes, I will message you because I am definitely interested. My ultimate goal, like for the past probably 20 years, was to be a NICU nurse. And
You could
that's
totally do that
all
because
time.
nursing school, yes, it's extremely difficult, but it's not nearly as long of a career track as like being a MD. So if you wanted to try test the waters in it, you probably could.
I mean, I already have a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees, but none of it is science. So I would still have to do all of those core classes, I mean, I took like 2 science classes. That doesn't count.
You could probably still get into it because really you only need what is it? It's anatomy, physiology, biology, chemistry, physics, and like a math class. It's not too heavy of a curriculum, especially if you're going into nursing where you're not expected to have like a 2 course series for all of the classes I just mentioned. So at most you're taking maybe 7, 8 classes.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad at all. The reason why I say that is because I had to go by the bare minimum because I started off in an exercise science curricula, and they don't do as much of like the cancer biology stuff that I needed to go into a really research heavy degree. So I also ended up taking like 4 or 5 classes on top of what I was doing. Very too much. Don't recommend. Don't take 20 semesters each semester for 2 years.
Yeah, sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it was not fun. That being said, if you're just going for nursing, which it's not really just going for nursing because nursing is such an important field, but if you're going for nursing and you're not going for like, I don't know, like fucking astrophysics or some crazy field like that, you're not going to need a really high degree of specialization to the extent that you need like 20 plus classes. You have a very doable load for like a year or 2 of classes.
Yeah, they have like a couple of programs that are an 18-month set of classes to get an RN if you already have a bachelor's degree in anything. So I'm like, that's not too bad.
No, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Do it. I highly recommend.
I know. I want to. I really do.
Hey guys, we're still looking for opposition, by the way, so if you voted for Trump or disagree with the context of the prompt, hit the request button at the bottom of the screen. If you're watching on the tube, I know there's not many people left in there at this point, but please hit the subscribe button and like the live as well if you can, please. I don't know if we're going to get anybody else in here at this point. How long have I been live? Ooh, I've been live for 3 hours. Quite a while. Well, I may wrap that up, I suppose, for now. I'd like to go live later, though, if I can. I don't really have much going on today, so I think I'd like to go live later if possible. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up for now, since nobody else is going to come on in.
If you do, if you wanted to do the anti-science prompt, I would not
Yes.
be opposed.
What? Yeah, I would like to do that. I know we have our call at like a few hours from now. So, but yeah, no, I can do that. That'd be good.
You might have better luck later because I think there are a lot of people like out with their moms today during the day, or at least I would hope so. I mean, I'm not, but
yeah. No, that's a good point. The cult of AA prompt. Lauren, I don't think that's going to get many people in there if I do that. I would like to do that that topic though every so often, but I don't want to make it a regular thing. But yeah, anyways, guys, appreciate you all watching live. Hit the follow button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe on YouTube as well. Snitch and Amber, anything else you wanted to say?
No.
Nope.
Have a good day.
All right.
This was a good call. Have a good one.
All right, Snitch, take care. Amber, take care. Great having you guys. All right, everyone. Thank you for all the support. Anybody who Venmo, Cash App, PayPal me. Guess thank you guys so much. You're all really appreciated. And everybody else who just watched live and liked the live, thank you as well. Like I said, I'll try to go live later. Join the Discord. Join the bulletin board. Links are in the bio. And have a good one until then, guys. All right.